Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, adapted for radio by Jeremy Front, with Ben Miles as Charles, Jamie Bamber as Sebastian, and Benjamin Whitrow as Mr. Ryder. Episode 1.
Come on, hurry up! We haven't got all bloody day!
We were leaving that day. When we marched in, 3 months before, the place was under snow. Now the first leaves of spring were unfolding, and I reflected that, whatever scenes of desolation lay ahead of us, I never feared one more brutal than this. Here love had died between me and the army, and here, at the age of 39, I began to be old.
Come in. Hooper, where the devil have you been?
Am I late? Sorry.
Hooper had no illusions about the army. He had come to it reluctantly, under compulsion, after he had made every feeble effort in his power to obtain deferment. He accepted it, he said, like the measles.
I told you to inspect the lines.
I had a rush getting my stuff together.
That's what you have a servant for.
Well, I suppose it is, strictly speaking. But you know how it is, he had his own stuff to do. And if you get on the wrong side of these fellas, they take it out of you other ways.
We're going to inspect the lines now.
Rightio.
For Christ's sake, don't say rightio.
Sorry. I do try to remember. It just slips out.
Well, don't let it.
I say, any idea where we're off to?
None.
Do you think it's the real thing?
I doubt it.
Just a flap?
Probably.
Everyone's been saying we're for it. I don't know what to think, really. Seems so silly somehow, all this drill and training, if we never go into action.
Well, I shouldn't worry, Hooper. There'll be plenty for everyone in time.
Oh, I don't want much, you know. Just enough to say I've been in it.
Well, the sooner you go and inspect the lines, the sooner we'll all be out of here. Go on, then. What are you waiting for?
Rightio. Oh, sorry.
On this morning of our move, I was entirely indifferent as to our destination. Our orders were to entrain at 09:15 hours at a nearby siding. That was all I needed to know. There had been many such moves since the wildly exhilarating morning in 1940, when we had erroneously believed ourselves destined for the defence of Calais.
Ryder, this is an order group.
Sir.
I expect you to attend properly dressed. Sit down.
Thank you, sir.
The camp was left in a disgraceful condition.
I do not intend to have my professional reputation compromised by the slackness of a few temporary officers. Understood?
Sir?
Right. End of lecture. Orders. The train will arrive at destination at approximately 23:15 hours. Information. Battalion is now in transit between location A and location B.
Hooper!
Oh, hello. Just arrived?
Yes.
Filthy night.
Yes, where are the men?
I've sent them off to get cleaned up.
Good. Any idea where we are?
The house is up there, round the corner. You can't miss it. Great barrack of a place. I've just had a snoop round. Very ornate. And there's a sort of Roman Catholic church attached. There was a kind of service going on, just a padre and one old man. I felt very awkward, more in your line than mine. Odd name, too. Brideshead Castle.
Brideshead. It was as though someone had switched off the wireless, and a voice that had been bawling in my ears incessantly had been suddenly cut short.
Oops!
Whose car is this, Sebastian?
A man called Hardcastle. Return the bits to him if I kill myself. I'm not very good at driving.
Brideshead. I had been there first with Sebastian more than 20 years ago on a cloudless day in June.
Well,
What a place to live in.
it's where my family live. Don't worry, they're all away. You won't have to meet them.
But I should like to.
Well, you can't. They're all in London. You must see the garden from the front.
20 years since my first brief visit. Could I have known then that it would one day be remembered with tears by a middle-aged captain of infantry? I had just gone up to Oxford. Within days of my arrival, my cousin Jasper paid me a visit.
You're reading history, yes?
Yes.
A perfectly respectable school. The very worst is English literature. The next is modern greats. What sort of degree do you intend to get?
Well, I hadn't...
You want either a first or a fourth. There's no value in anything in between. Clothes, dress as you do in a country house. Never wear a tweed coat and flannel trousers. Always a suit. Club?
I was thinking of joining the union.
Run for the union if you want, but make your reputation outside first. Don't treat the dons like schoolmasters. Treat them as you would the vicar at home. You'll find you spend half your second year shaking off the undesirable friends you made in your first. Oh, and beware the Anglo-Catholics. They're all sodomites with unpleasant accents. In fact, steer clear of all the religious groups. They do nothing but harm. Time I was going. Thanks for the tea and all. Oh, and one last thing, Charles. Change your rooms.
But I rather like them.
Yes, I dare say. But I've seen many a man ruined through having ground floor rooms in the front quad. People start dropping in, you start giving them sherry, and before you know where you are, you've opened a free bar for all the undesirables of the college.
I do not know that I ever consciously followed any of this advice, and I certainly never changed my rooms. My earliest friends, a small circle of college intellectuals, provided the kind of company I had enjoyed in the sixth form at school. But I felt at heart that this was not all which Oxford had to offer. One evening in March, shortly before midnight,
or what we might, for the sake of argument, call narrative element.
Mind if I open a window? It's rather stuffy in here.
Oh, yes. Volume is the thing. If you allow Cézanne to represent a third dimension on his two-dimensional canvas, then you must allow Landseer his gleam of loyalty in the spaniel's eye.
Yes, I can quite see the point you're making. However...
Oh. Hello.
Hello.
What a charming room. Come on, Sebastian. Do you know, I feel most unaccountably unwell.
Oh, good God.
On behalf of my friend, please accept my apologies.
How disgusting.
The wines were too various, you see. It was neither the quality nor the quantity that was at... it was the mixture.
Oh, my head.
To understand all is to forgive.
I'm sorry, but it actually wasn't quite as it appears.
Couldn't even get to a window.
You see, the thing
Those
is...
that can't keep it down are better without it.
Yes, but it wasn't one of my party lumps.
Well, it's just as nasty clearing it up, whoever it was.
There's 5 shillings on the sideboard.
Yes, so I saw, and thank you. But I'd rather not have the money and not have the mess any morning.
Yes. Yes, I can quite see. Sorry.
Morning, sir. Flowers for Mr. Ryder.
Good Lord. Looks like the entire stock of a market stall.
It is, sir. Here, there's a note.
Thank you. I am very contrite. Aloysius won't speak to me until he sees I am forgiven, so please come to luncheon today. Sebastian Flyte.
Lord Marchmain's youngest son.
Yes, it was he who vomited on my floor last night.
Oh, was it now? A most amusing young gentleman. I'm sure it's quite a pleasure to clean up after him. I take it you're lunching out, sir.
a tiny, priggish, warning voice in my ear told me it was seemly to hold back. But I was in search of love in those days.
Yes, Lunt. Lunching out.
31, 32... Come in! 33, 34...
Hello.
35, 36... I'm so sorry, I was just counting the plover's eggs. There are enough for 5 each, with 1 left over, which I shall eat now. I'm unaccountably hungry today. Would you care for a dry martini?
Oh, well, yes, thank you.
Can't apologise enough for my deplorable behaviour last night.
Thank you for the flowers.
Aloysius thought it would be a good idea. There you are.
Thanks.
Do you know that beast Hobson has put him next door? Although perhaps it's as well, as there wouldn't have been enough eggs for him.
I'm sorry, who is Aloysius?
My bear.
Bear?
Oh, I'll bring him in, whether Hobson likes it or not. There you are, Aloysius. You can sit there.
A teddy bear?
He's got pride of place. Come in.
Sebastian.
Hello, chaps.
The party assembled. 3 Etonian freshmen, mild, elegant, detached young men who had all been to a dance in London the night before, and spoke of it as if it had been the funeral of a near but unloved kinsman.
Plover's eggs.
Where do you get them, Sebastian?
Mummy sends them from Brideshead. They always lay early for her. They're delicious, don't you think, Charles?
Yes, very good.
And who was at Margot's last night?
The usual crowd. Alistair Trumpington, Sir Humphrey Maltravers.
David Lennox was there, you know, the photographer.
Oh, yeah.
My dears, I couldn't get away before. I shall never forgive my preposterous tutor. As it was, he thought it very odd my leaving when I did, but I told him I had to change for footer.
You know everyone, I think, apart from Charles. Charles Ryder, Anthony Blanche.
I hear Sebastian rather disgraced himself last night.
Do shut up, Antoine.
It was nothing.
I do hope he didn't sully any precious rugs or exquisite fabrics. You should be chastised, Sebastian, if I had my way, most severely.
Blanche, a byword for iniquity, had been pointed out to me often in the streets as he pranced along with his high peacock tread. After luncheon, he stood on the balcony with a megaphone and in languishing tones recited lines from the wasteland.
Have poor suffered all enacted on this same divan bed. I, who have sat by Thebes below the wall.
Do come in, Antoine.
Walked among the lowest of the dead. Thank you for your attention, dear boy. Now I am surprised. All boatmen are grace darlings to me. Now, I fear I must leave you, gentlemen, for other and less delightful company. Sebastian, mwah, mwah, a delight as ever. I should like to stick you full of barbed arrows like a pin-cushion.
Sweet of you.
As for you, Charles, I think it's perfectly brilliant of Sebastian to have discovered you. Where do you lurk? I shall come down to your burrow and chiver you out like an old stoat. Now, I must away. Farewell, my friends.
The others left soon after him, and I too rose to go. But Sebastian insisted I stay for some more Cointreau. Then a little later said,
I must go to the Botanical Gardens.
Why?
To see the ivy.
I've never been to the Botanical Gardens.
Oh, Charles, what a lot you have to learn. There's a beautiful arch there and more different kinds of ivy than I knew existed. I don't know where I should be without the Botanical Gardens.
That luncheon party was the beginning of a new epoch in my life and the beginning of my friendship with Sebastian. Thus it came about, one June morning in 1923, that our lives were to become forever entwined. It was Eights Week in Oxford. My college was giving a ball, and no one felt more strongly about it than my scout, Lunt.
I must say, the whole of Oxford's become most peculiar suddenly.
I couldn't agree more, sir.
Last night it was pullulating with women. You're to come away at once, Charles, out of danger.
I didn't realise we were in actual danger.
Definitely mortal danger, isn't that right, Lunt?
Well, I never had to buy pincushions for a lady's cloakroom before.
There you are, Charles. It's come to pincushions. I've got a motor car and a basket of strawberries and a bottle of Chateau Perrier, which isn't a wine you've ever tasted, so don't pretend. It's heaven with strawberries.
Where are we going?
To see a friend.
Who?
Name of Hawkins.
Whose car is this?
Man called Hardcastle. Return the bits to him if I kill myself. I'm not very good at driving. Here, look after Aloysius. Take care he's not sick.
Look out!
Sorry!
Soon we were in open country. At about 11, and without warning, Sebastian turned the car into a cart track. Under a clump of elms, we ate the strawberries and drank the wine. We lit fat Turkish cigarettes and lay on our backs. Sebastian's eyes on the leaves above him, mine on his profile.
Just a place to bury a crock of gold. I should like to bury something precious in every place where I've been happy. And then when I was old and ugly and miserable, I could come back and dig it up and remember.
It's good to be away from Oxford.
God bless Hardcastle.
Whoever he may be.
He's a very gloomy man in my college who says he knows my father, which is impossible.
Why?
No one knows Papa. He's a social leper. Hadn't you heard?
I knew nothing about Sebastian's family, but assumed from his tone that he was no closer to his father than I was to mine. Although I'd chosen to ignore cousin Jasper, he had at least attempted to offer me some guidance. My father offered none. Indeed, it was not until I was within a fortnight of going up that he mentioned the subject at all.
Ah, I've been talking about you.
Oh, yes, Father.
As I met your future warden at the Athenaeum, I wanted to talk about Etruscan notions of immorality. He wanted to talk about extension lectures for the working class, so we compromised and talked about you.
I see.
I asked him what your allowance should be. He said 300 a year, on no account give him more.
Did he say why?
Apparently that's what most men have. I thought that a deplorable answer. I had more than most men when I was up, and my recollection is that nowhere else in the world and at no other time do a few £100 make so much difference to one's importance and popularity.
Did you say that to him?
No. I toyed with the idea of giving you 600, but I reflected that should the warden come to hear of it, it might sound deliberately impolite.
Yes, I suppose it might.
So I shall give you 550.
Oh.
Yes, it's indulgent of me. But it all comes out of capital, you know.
I didn't, but, well, thank you. Thank you very much.
I suppose this is the time I should give you advice.
I suppose.
I never had any myself, except once, in the summer before I went up from your cousin Alfred. He rode over to Boughton especially to give me a piece of advice, and do you know what that advice was? Ned, he said, there is one thing I must beg of you. Always wear a tall hat on Sundays during term. It is by that more than anything that a man is judged. And you know, I always did.
And were you?
Was I what?
Judged by it?
Oh, no idea. Some men wore them, some didn't. I never saw the difference between them, or heard it commented on. But I always wore mine. It only shows what effect judicious advice can have, delivered at the right moment.
Yes.
I wish I had some for you, but I haven't.
After lunching at an inn, Sebastian and I drove on, and in the early afternoon came to our destination.
Well?
What a place to live in.
It's where my family live.
Not that is my house, but it's where my family live.
Don't worry, they're all away. You won't have to meet them.
But I should like to.
Well, you can't. They're all in London. You must see the garden from the front. Everything's shut up. We better go in this way.
So don't buy Indigo Jones. It looks later.
Oh, Charles, don't be such a tourist. What does it matter when it was built if it's pretty?
It's the sort of thing I like to know.
Oh, dear. I'm going to have to cure you of all that. Come on. Through here.
Come in.
Hello, Nanny.
Well, this is a surprise. Oh, who's this? Oh, I don't think I know him.
This is Charles. Charles, this is Nanny Hawkins.
How do you do?
Hello. Oh, what a lovely surprise. It's so dull without them all, just Mrs. Chandler and two of the girls and old Bert. And then they're all going on holidays, and the boiler's being done out in August, and you're going to see his lordship in Italy. It'll be October before we're settled down again. You've come just at the right time, though. Julia's here for the day.
Julia's here?
Yes, dear. It's the Conservative women. Her ladyship was to have done them, but she's poorly. Julia won't be long. She's leaving immediately after her speech, before the tea.
I'm afraid we may miss her again.
Don't do that, dear. It'll be such a surprise to her seeing you. Though she ought to wait for tea. I told her it's what the Conservative women come for. Now, what's the news? Are you studying hard at your books?
Not very, I'm afraid, Nanny.
Oh, cricketing all day long, I expect, like your brother.
Well,
He found time to study too, though. He's not been here since Christmas, but he'll be here for the agricultural, I expect.
I expect he will.
Did you see this piece about Julia in the paper?
No, what's all this?
Here we are. The lovely daughter whom Lady Marchmain is bringing out this season. Witty as well as ornamental, the most popular debutante. Well, that's no more than the truth. Though it was a shame to cut her hair. I said to Father Phipps, it's not natural. He said, nuns do it. Well, surely, Father, I said, surely you aren't going to make a nun out of Lady Julia. The very idea. Oh, ring the bell, dear, and we'll have some tea.
I'm afraid we're going to have to go, Nanny.
Oh, no. That is a pity.
We've only borrowed the motor car for the afternoon.
And Miss Julia, she will be upset when she hears.
Poor Nanny. She does have such a dull life. I've a good mind to bring her to Oxford to live with me. Only she'd always be trying to send me to church. Hurry up, Charles. We must go quickly before my sister gets back.
Which are you ashamed of, her or me?
I'm ashamed of myself. Anyway, I'm not going to have you get mixed up with my family. They're so madly charming. All my life they've been taking things away from me. If they once get hold of you, they'd make you their friend, and not mine. And I won't let them.
All right, but at least let me see more of the house.
It's all shut up. On Queen Alexandra's Day, it's open for a shilling.
Sebastian.
Oh, very well. Come and look if you want to. All the furniture's draped in sheets, I'm afraid. I could open one of the shutters if you like. Let some light into the gloom. There.
Good Lord. Is it all like this?
There are a few pretty things I'd like to show you one day. Not now. But there's the chapel. You must see that. Come, I'll show you. Why did you genuflect?
Oh, because you did. Good manners, I suppose.
Well, you needn't on my account. You wanted to do sightseeing? How about this? It's a monument of Art Nouveau.
The interior had been gutted and redecorated in the arts and crafts style. Angels in printed cotton smocks, rambler roses, flower-spangled meadows and saints in armour covered the walls in an intricate pattern of clear, bright colours.
It was Papa's wedding present to Mama. Now, you've seen enough. I'm afraid I wasn't very nice this afternoon. Brideshead often has that effect on me. But I had to take you to see Nanny. Oh, that's Julia's car. We only just got away in time. What?
I didn't say anything.
You gave me a look. I don't keep asking you questions about your family.
Neither do I about yours.
You don't have to. The questions are there, hanging over us.
Well, you're so mysterious about them.
I hoped I was mysterious about everything.
Perhaps I'm rather curious about other people's families. It's not something I know much about. You see, there's only Father and myself. My mother was killed in the war.
Oh? How very unusual.
She went to Serbia with the Red Cross. My father's been rather odd in the head ever since.
Odd?
Yes, he just lives alone in London with no friends and footles about, collecting things.
You don't know what you've been saved. There are lots of us. Look them up into bread.
Towards the end of that summer term, I received the last visit and grand remonstrance of my cousin Jasper.
My dear Charles, whether you realise it or not, you've gone hook, line and sinker into the very worst set in the university. And now I find that, thanks to you, I am becoming a figure of fun at the dining club.
I'm sorry to hear that, Jasper.
That chap Flyte you seem inseparable from.
Sebastian.
Yes. He may be all right, I don't know. His brother Brideshead was a sound fellow, but this friend of yours looks odd to me, and he gets himself talked about. Of course, they're an odd family. The Marchmains have lived apart since the war.
And so Jasper gave me a history of the Marchmains.
As I say, Flyte may be all right, but Anthony Blanche... Now there's a man there's absolutely no excuse for.
I don't particularly like him myself.
Well, he's always hanging around here. And the stiffer element in college don't like it. He was thrown into Mercury again last night. These types think that because they've got a lot of money to throw about, they can do anything. And that's another thing. All this stuff. What about these cigars and these frivolous-looking books? Or this decanter? It's Lalique. And this peculiarly noisome object.
With a look of particular disdain, he indicated a human skull, which, resting in a bowl of roses, formed the chief decoration of my table. It bore the motto, Et in Arcadia Ego, inscribed on its forehead.
It's purchased from the School of Medicine. I had to pay cash for it.
And you can't be doing any work. Not that that matters, if you're making something of a career elsewhere. But are you? Have you spoken at the union? Are you connected with any of the magazines? Are you even making a position in the Ouds?
Guilty as charged. No to all three.
And your clothes. Your present get-up seems an unhappy compromise between the correct wear for a theatrical party at Maidenhead and a glee singing competition in a garden suburb. And drink.
Oh, Jasper, please.
No one minds a man getting tight once or twice a term. But I hear you're constantly seen drunk in the middle of the afternoon.
I'm sorry, Jasper. I know I must be embarrassing for you, but I happen to like this bad set. I like getting drunk at luncheon. And though I haven't yet spent quite double my allowance, I undoubtedly shall before the end of term. I usually have a glass of champagne about this time. Will you join me?
Looking back now, after 20 years, there is little I would have done otherwise. That summer term with Sebastian, it seemed as though I was being given a brief spell of what I'd never known, a happy childhood. On the day after Jasper's grand remonstrance, I received another, in different terms, from an unexpected source.
Charles, dear boy!
Anthony!
Have you dined?
No.
Good. I'm going to drag you away from the culinary delights of Formal Hall and feed you. Come along.
Where are we going, Anthony?
Tame. There is a delightful hotel there, which luckily doesn't appeal to the Bullingdon. I hope we shall find no undergraduates there. I'm a little out of sympathy with them at the moment.
I heard they put you in Mercury.
It was too naughty. Luckily, I was wearing my oldest pyjamas, and it was an evening of oppressive heat, or I might have been seriously cross. I tried to explain to the dear sweet clodhoppers that if they knew anything of sexual psychology, they'd know that nothing would give me keener pleasure than to be manhandled by meaty boys. In fact, it would be an ecstasy of the very naughtiest kind. They're all oafs, and the biggest oaf of them all is Boy Mulcaster.
My evening with Anthony was a tour de force on his part, a dramatic monologue in 3 courses. But there was only one theme.
I can see Sebastian has completely captivated you, my dear Charles, and I'm not surprised. He has charm, such charm. You wouldn't believe it, but at school people used to say he was a little bitch. Everyone in Pop liked him, of course, and all the masters. He never had spots, you know. Or did he have one? Rather a stubborn one at the back of his neck. I think now that he did. Narcissus with one pustule. How's your food?
Very good.
Shall we have another bottle of this wine or something different? Some bloody old Burgundy, eh? You see, Charles, I understand all your tastes. You must come to France with me and drink the wine. I want to introduce you to a lot of my friends. I've told Cocteau about you. He's all agog.
I can't imagine why.
Because behind that cold, English, phlegmatic exterior, you are an artist. Those little drawings you keep hidden away in your room, they are exquisite. You are not exquisite. I am. Sebastian, in a way, is, but the artist is an eternal type. Solid, purposeful, observant, and beneath it all, passionate, eh, Charles? Do you wish Sebastian was with us? Of course you do. Do I? I wonder. I forget if you know his family.
They were all away when we visited Brideshead.
No, of course they were. I doubt he'll ever let you meet them. He's far too clever, and they're quite gruesome.
In what respect?
There's Brideshead, who's archaic, like something out of a cave that's been sealed for centuries. And Julia, whose photograph appears as regularly in the papers as advertisements for Beecham's pills. Oh, and there's another sister too, I believe, in the schoolroom. But it's when one gets to the parents that a bottomless pit opens.
How does Lady Marchmain manage it? So very, very beautiful. A voice as quiet as a prayer and as powerful. She has destroyed her husband utterly.
How?
Oh, he went off to war, never came back, and formed a connection with a dancer. Lady Marchmain refuses to divorce him because she's so pious, and now he daren't show his big purple face anywhere. Sebastian sees him, but no one else goes near. So, you see, we mustn't blame Sebastian if at times he seems a little insipid. But then you don't blame him, do you, Charles? Tell me candidly, have you ever heard him say anything you have remembered for more than 5 minutes? Well, my dear, no doubt you'll trot round and tell him everything I've said about him, but it won't make the slightest difference to Sebastian's feeling for me. Shall I tell you what he'll do? He'll immediately start talking about that amusing bear of his.
The following morning, I walked down the Broad to breakfast at a tea shop opposite Balliol, then made my way to Sebastian. He was out, so I read the letters that littered his writing table.
Charles!
Hello.
I've been to Mass at the old palace. I haven't been all this term, and Monsignor Bell asked me to dinner twice last week, which means Mummy's been writing to him. So I sat bang in front and absolutely shouted the Hail Marys at the end. So, that's over. How was dinner with Antoine? What did you talk about?
He did most of the talking. Tell me, did you know him at Eton?
I remember seeing him about. He was sacked my first half.
Has he met any of your family?
No, I don't suppose so. Why all the interest?
I just wanted to find out how much truth there was in what Anthony said last night.
I shouldn't think a word. That's his great charm.
You may think it charming. I think it devilish. Do you know he spent the whole evening trying to turn me against you and almost succeeded?
Did he? How silly. Aloysius wouldn't approve of that at all. Would you? You pompous old bear.
I returned home for the long vacation without plans and without money. Sebastian had disappeared into that other life of his where I was not asked to follow, and I was left forlorn and regretful.
Well, good evening, Father.
Oh, my dear boy, they never told me you were here. Did you have a very exhausting journey?
Wasn't too bad.
They gave you tea?
Yes.
Ah. You're well?
Yes, thank you, Father. I'm quite well.
I've just made a somewhat audacious purchase from Solachines, a terracotta bull of the 5th century. I was examining it, and I forgot your arrival.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Dinner is served.
Oh, come along, Charles. You can tell me everything over dinner. What would you like to drink, Charles? Hater, what have we for Mr. Charles to drink?
There's some whiskey.
Oh, there you are, Charles. There's whiskey. Perhaps you'd like something else. What else have we?
There isn't anything else in the house.
Well, there's nothing else, Charles. You must tell Hater what you want and then get it in. I never keep any wine in now. I'm forbidden it, and no one comes to see me. No. But while you're here, you must have what you like. You're here for long?
I'm not quite sure, Father.
It's a very long vacation. In my day, we used to go on what was called reading parties, always in the mountainous areas. Why should alpine scenery be thought conducive to study?
I thought of putting in some time at an art school in the life class.
Oh, my dear boy, you'll find them all shut. The students go to Barbizon or such places and paint in the open air. There was an institution in my day called a sketching club. Mixed sexes, pepper and salt knickerbockers, and it was popularly thought free love. I expect they still go on.
One of the problems of the vacation is money, Father.
Oh, well, I shouldn't worry about a thing like that at your age.
Yes, but you see, I've run rather short. In fact, I don't quite know how I'm going to get through the next 2 months.
Oh, well, I'm the worst person to come to for advice. Yeah, I've never been short, as you so painfully call it. Your cousin Melcher was imprudent with his investments and got into a very queer street. He went to Australia.
But, Father, you surely don't want me to spend the whole vacation here with you. I mean, won't you find it rather a bore having me at home for so long?
I trust I should not betray such an emotion, even if I felt it. No, you're very welcome, my dear boy. Stay as long as you find it convenient.
During the sultry week that followed, relations with my father deteriorated sharply. I saw little of him during the day. If we met in a passage or on the stairs, he would look at me vacantly and say,
"Aha!"
or
"Very warm,"
or
"Splendid, splendid."
On the second evening, I took my book with me to the dining room.
I do think, Charles, you might talk to me. I've had a very exhausting day. I was looking forward to a little conversation.
Of course, Father. What shall we talk about?
Cheer me up. Take me out of myself. Tell me all about the new plays.
But I haven't been to any.
Oh, you should, you know. You really should. It's not natural for a young man to spend all his evenings at home.
Well, Father, as I told you, I haven't much money to spare for theatre going.
My dear boy, you must not let money become your master in this way. If you read the lives of eminent men, you will find that quite half of them made their first acquaintance with drama from the gallery. I'm told there's no pleasure like it. It's called sitting with the gods. The expense is nugatory, and even while you wait for admission in the street, you are diverted by buskers.
Next day, by chance, I met an old school acquaintance named Jorkins. I never had much liking for Jorkins, but now greeted him with enthusiasm and asked him to dinner. My father made a little fantasy for himself that Jorkins should be an American.
It's so nice of you to come all this way.
Oh, it wasn't very far. I live just on the other side
Science
of the
annihilates distance. You're over here on business?
I'm in business, if that's what you mean.
I had a cousin who was in business. I was telling Charles about him only the other night. He came a crop up. You find his misfortunes the subject of mirth?
No.
Perhaps the word I used is unfamiliar. You no doubt would say folded up. Does business consume all your time?
Oh, no. When I started out in my present line, I resolved to get out of the city as often as possible, blow away the cobwebs.
What do you do to blow them away?
I very much enjoy hiking, as it happens.
Do you find the English countryside rather tame?
Tame?
Well, in comparison to the vast spaces to which you are accustomed.
I'm sorry, I don't...
And I'm afraid that, living in London, you must miss your national game.
My national game?
Cricket.
Some more wine, Jorkins.
A few days later, my father gave a little dinner party. It was a gruesome evening.
Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. What very dull friends I have. You know, without the spur of your presence, I should never rouse myself to invite them. But now you're paying me such a long visit, I'll have many such evenings. You liked Miss Gloria Orme-Herrick?
No.
No? Was it her little moustache you objected to? Or her very large feet?
My father never declared his war aims, and I do not to this day know whether they were plainly punitive, or whether he fought for the sheer love of a battle in which he shone. Then, one Sunday afternoon, a telegram of alarming brevity came from Sebastian.
Charles, you'll never guess how I have spent the day. I've been to the zoo. It was most agreeable. The animals seem to enjoy the sun so much.
Father, I must leave at once. A great friend of mine, he's had a terrible accident. A telegram arrived while you were out.
Gravely injured. Come at once. Sebastian.
Hayter's packing for me now. There's a train in half an hour.
I'm sorry you're upset. I shouldn't say the accident was as serious as you think. Otherwise, the message would hardly be signed by the victim himself. Still, he may well be fully conscious, but blind, or paralyzed with a broken back. Why exactly is your presence so necessary? You have no medical knowledge. You're not in holy orders. Do you hope for a legacy?
I told you he's a great friend.
Well, Orme-Herrick is a great friend of mine, but I shouldn't go tearing off to his deathbed on a warm Sunday afternoon. I should doubt whether Lady Orme-Herrick would welcome me. However, I see you have no such doubts. I shall miss you, my dear boy, but don't hurry back on my account.
The bright landscape rolled past the windows, but fear worked like yeast in my thoughts. Images of disaster, a loaded gun held carelessly at a stile, a horse rearing and rolling over, a car at a blind corner. And the throb of the wheels repeated monotonously in my ears. You've come too late, you've come too late. He's dead, he's dead, he's dead.
Hello? Mr. Ryder?
Yes.
Julia, Sebastian's sister.
Oh.
Jump in.
How's Sebastian?
Oh, he's fine. Have you had dinner?
Yes, on the train.
Oh, I expect it was beastly. There's some more at home. Sebastian and I are alone, so we thought we'd wait for you.
Thank you. What's happened to him?
Didn't he say?
No.
I expect he thought you wouldn't come if you knew. He's cracked a bone in his ankle so small that it hasn't even got a name. They x-rayed it yesterday, told him to keep it up for a month. He's been making the most enormous fuss.
I thought from his telegram he must be dying.
He tried to make me stay back with him, and I almost gave in. Then I said, surely there must be someone you can get hold of. And he said everybody was away or busy, and anyway, no one else would do. But at last he agreed to try you. So you can imagine how popular you are with me. I must say it's noble of you to come all this way at a moment's notice.
How did he do it?
Playing croquet. He lost his temper and tripped over a hoop. Not a very honourable scar. There are some cigarettes in the locker.
No, thanks.
Light one for me, will you?
Oh, yes, of course.
As I took the cigarette from my lips and put it in hers, I caught a thin bat squeak of sexuality, inaudible to anyone but me.
Here you are, darling. I've collected your chum.
I thought you were dying.
I thought I was too. The pain was excruciating. Julia, do you think if you asked him, Wilcox would give us champagne tonight?
Oh, I hate champagne, and Mr. Ryder has had dinner.
Mr. Ryder? Mr. Ryder? Charles drinks champagne at all hours. Come on, Charles. Wheel me through to the painted parlour.
It was a spacious, domed octagon, later in design than the rest of the house. While they dined, I ate a peach and told them of the war with my father.
Sounds a perfect poppet.
It's not the adjective I'd have chosen.
And now, I'm going to leave you, boys.
Where are you going?
The nursery. I promised Nanny a last game of Halma. Sweet dreams, Sebastian. Good night, Mr. Ryder. And goodbye. I don't suppose we'll meet tomorrow. I'm leaving early. I can't tell you how grateful I am to you for relieving me at the sickbed.
Good night.
My sister's very pompous tonight.
I don't think she cares for me.
I don't think she cares for anyone much. I love her. She's so like me.
Is she?
In looks, I mean, and the way she talks. I wouldn't love anyone with a character like mine. Pour us both some more port, will you?
Well, here's to your ankle.
We'll have a heavenly time alone.
Why is this house called a castle?
It used to be until they moved it.
Moved it?
We used to have a castle a mile away down by the village. Then we took a fancy to the valley. Pulled the castle down, carted the stones up here and built a new house. I'm glad they did, aren't you?
If it was mine, I'd never live anywhere else.
If it could only be like this always. Always summer. Always alone. The fruit always ripe. And Aloysius in a good temper.
It is thus I like to remember Sebastian, as he was that summer, when we wandered alone together through that enchanted place. It was an aesthetic education to live within those walls, to wander from room to room, from the Soames-esque library to the Chinese drawing room, the Pompeian parlour to the great tapestry-hung hall. This was my conversion to the Baroque.
Let's have a look. Charles, that's really rather good.
Thank you. Shall I give it to your mother?
Why? You don't know her.
Seems polite I'm staying in her house.
Give it to Nanny.
Very well.
Here. I've got something for you.
Oil paints?
Mummy bought them a year or two ago, but she couldn't draw at all. And however bright the colours in the tube, by the time she mixed them up, they came out a kind of khaki. I think you should have a go.
I've never used oils.
You'll pick it up. You've got the knack. Come on. I want to show you something. This room was once an office for estate business.
It must have been very pretty once.
That's why we should bring it back to life.
How?
With your oil paints.
Are you serious?
Never more so. The walls are your canvas.
And so, in the days that followed, I began a romantic landscape without figures, a summer scene of white cloud and blue distances. A few days later, Sebastian and I went down to the cellars with Wilcox.
A lot of old wine wants drinking up.
Do you hear that, Charles?
Yes.
We ought to have laid down the 18 and 20s. But her ladyship says to ask Lord Brideshead, and he says to ask his lordship in Venice, and his lordship says to ask the lawyers. That's how we get low.
How low are we?
Oh, there's only enough here for 10 years at the rate it's going. And how shall we be then?
Well, I think it's our duty to help drink up the old wine, don't you, Charles?
Oh, yes.
Good. We'll start tonight.
Which one's this?
I can't remember.
Oh, yes. Oh. This is a wise old wine.
A prophet in a cave. And this is a necklace of pearls on a white neck.
Like a swan.
Like the last unicorn. Ought we to be drunk every night?
Yes, I think so.
I think so too.
Sebastian's faith was an enigma to me, but not one which I felt particularly concerned to solve. I had no religion. I was taken to church as a child, but my father did not go except on family occasions, and then with derision. Almost daily, since I had known Sebastian, some chance word in his conversation had reminded me that he was a Catholic, but I took it as a foible, like his teddy bear. We never discussed the matter, until one Sunday as we sat in the colonnade with the papers.
It's very difficult being a Catholic.
Does it make much difference to you?
Of course, all the time.
I can't say I've noticed it. You don't seem much more virtuous than me.
I'm very, very much wickeder. Who was it used to pray, "Oh God, make me good, but not yet"?
I don't know. You, I should think.
Yes, I do, every day. But it isn't that. Oh. Another naughty scoutmaster in the news of the world.
I suppose they try and make you believe an awful lot of nonsense, priest.
Is it nonsense? I wish it were. It sometimes sounds terribly sensible to me.
My dear Sebastian, you can't seriously believe it all.
Can't I?
Well, Christmas and the star and the three kings and the ox and the ass.
Oh, yes, I believe that. It's a lovely idea.
But you can't believe things because they're a lovely idea.
I do. That's how I believe.
And in prayers, do you think you could kneel down in front of a statue and say a few words and change the weather?
I don't expect you to understand.
Or that some saints are more influential than others and you must get hold of the right one to help you with the right problem.
Oh, yes. Don't you remember last term, when I took Aloysius and left him behind, I don't know where? I prayed like mad to St. Anthony of Padua that morning, and immediately after lunch there was Mr. Nichols at Canterbury Gate with Aloysius in his arms, saying I'd left him in his cab.
Well, if you can believe all that, and you don't want to be good, where's the difficulty about your religion?
If you can't see, you can't.
Well, where?
Oh, don't be a bore, Charles. I want to read about a woman in Hull who's been using an instrument.
You've started the subject. I'm just getting interested.
I'll never mention it again. 38 other cases were taken into consideration in sentencing her to 6 months. Golly.
But he did mention it again, some 10 days later, as we were lying on the roof of the house, sunbathing and watching the agricultural show in the park below.
Look, there's Brideshead.
Where?
Down there, by the sheep enclosure.
Pass the binoculars.
Queer fellow, my brother. He looks normal enough. If only you knew. He's the craziest of us all, only it doesn't come out. He's all twisted inside. He wanted to be a priest, you know.
I didn't.
I think he still does. It was awful for Mummy. She couldn't try and stop him, but of course it was the last thing she wanted.
Why?
The eldest son. And poor Papa. The church has been enough trouble to him without that happening. Finally, they persuaded Bridie to go to Oxford and think it over for 3 years. Now he's trying to make up his mind.
Has your father given up religion?
He had to, in a way. He only took to it when he married Mummy. You must meet him. He's a very nice man.
It must have upset you all when your father went away.
And Cordelia was too young. Mummy tried to explain it to the 3 eldest so that we wouldn't hate Papa. I was the only one who didn't. I believe she wishes I did. I'd be staying with him in Venice now if it wasn't for this foot. Why don't you come too? You'd like him.
As I tried to explain to my father, I'm stony broke.
So, you see, we're a mixed family, religiously. Brideshead and Cordelia are both fervent. He's miserable, she's bird-happy. Julia and I are half heathen. I'm happy, I rather think she isn't. Mummy's popularly believed to be a saint and Papa is excommunicated. I wouldn't know which of them is happy. Anyhow, however you look at it, happiness doesn't seem to have much to do with it, and that's all I want. I wish I liked Catholics more.
Sebastian!
Good heavens.
Sebastian!
Sounds like Cordelia. Cover yourself up.
Where are you? There you are. I guessed you were here. You didn't know I was about, did you?
Go away, Cordelia.
Why?
We've got no clothes on.
I came down with Bridie and stopped to see Francis Xavier. He's my pig.
Say how do you do to Mr. Ryder.
Oh, sorry. How do you do?
Hello.
They're all getting pretty boozy down there, so I came away. I say, who's been painting the office?
Be careful what you say. It's Mr. Ryder.
But it's lovely. I say, did you really?
Yes.
Well, you are clever. Why don't you both dress and come down? There's no one about.
Bridie's sure to bring the judges in.
No, he won't. He's very sour today. He didn't want me to have dinner with you, but I fixed that. Oh, come on.
I'm sorry to miss so much of your visit. You are being looked after properly.
Oh, yes.
I hope Sebastian is seeing to the wine. Wilcox is apt to be rather grudging when he is on his own.
He's treated us very liberally.
I'm delighted to hear it. You are fond of wine?
Very.
I wish I were. It's such a bond with other men. At Magdalen I tried to get drunk more than once, but I did not enjoy it. Events like this afternoon's are a torment to me in consequence.
I like wine.
My sister's last report said that she was not only the worst girl in the school, but the worst there had ever been in the memory of the oldest nun.
That's because I refused to be an enfant de Marie. Reverend Mother said that if I didn't keep my room tidy, I couldn't be one. So I said, well, I won't be one. And I don't believe Our Blessed Lady cares 2 hoots whether I put my gym shoes on the left or the right of my dancing shoes.
Our Lady cares about obedience.
Bridie, you mustn't be so pious. We've got an atheist with us.
Agnostic.
Really? Is there much of that at your college? There was a certain amount at Magdalen.
I really don't know. I was one long before I went to Oxford.
It's everywhere. You know the bishop wants to close our chapel.
Oh, he couldn't.
I don't think Mummy will let him.
We must have the Blessed Sacrament here. I like popping in at odd times. So does Mummy.
So do I. But there are so few of us. It'll have to go sooner or later. Perhaps after Mummy's time. The point is, whether it wouldn't be better to let it go now. You're an artist, Mr. Ryder. What do you think of it aesthetically? Is it good art?
I think it's beautiful.
Well, I don't quite know what you mean. It's a remarkable example of its period. Probably in 80 years it'll be greatly admired.
But surely it can't be good 20 years ago and good in 80 years' time and not good now.
Well, it may be good now. All I mean is that I don't happen to like it that much.
But is there a difference between liking a thing and thinking it good?
Bridie, don't be so Jesuitical.
Well, isn't that just the distinction you made about wine?
No. I like and think good the end to which wine is sometimes the means, the promotion of sympathy between man and man. But in my own case, it does not achieve that end. So I neither like it nor think it good for me.
Bridie, do stop.
I'm sorry, I thought it a rather interesting point.
Oh, I'm glad I went to Eton.
If you'll excuse us, I'm afraid I must take Sebastian away for half an hour. I've a lot of papers for Father to sign, and Sebastian must take them to Italy and explain them to him. It's time you were in bed, Cordelia.
Oh, I must digest first. I'm not used to gorging like this all night. I'll talk to Charles.
Charles? Charles? It's Mr. Ryder to you, child.
Sebastian.
Excuse me, shan't be long.
Are you really agnostic?
Does your family talk about religion all the time?
Not all the time. It's just a subject that comes up naturally, doesn't it?
Never has with me before.
Then perhaps you are an agnostic. I'll pray for you.
It's very kind of you.
I can't spare you a whole rosary, you know. Just a decade. I've got such a long list of people. I take them in order and they get a decade each about once a week.
I'm sure it's more than I deserve.
Oh, I've got harder cases than you. Lloyd George, and the Kaiser, and Olive Banks.
Who's Olive Banks?
She was bunked from the convent last term. Reverend Mother found something she'd been writing. Do you know, if you weren't an agnostic, I'd ask you for 5 shillings to buy a black goddaughter.
Nothing will surprise me about your religion.
It's a new thing a missionary priest started last term. You send 5 bob to some nuns in Africa, and then they christen a baby and name her after you. I've got 6 black Cordelias already. Isn't it lovely?
That night I began to realise how little I really knew Sebastian. Next morning, Brideshead and Cordelia went away. Sebastian walked without a stick now and had forgotten his injury. The month that had started in leisurely fashion came swiftly to its end.
There you are.
I've been watching the men demolishing the tents. The grass is in a shocking state.
Oh, it'll grow back, it always does. I've been thinking.
Oh, yes?
Come with me to Venice.
I told you, no money.
We'll live on Papa when we get there.
I couldn't even afford the fare.
I've thought of that. The lawyers pay my fare, first class and sleeper. We can travel third class for that.
Are you serious?
Never more so.
And so we went.
In the first of 4 episodes of Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, adapted for radio by Jeremy Front, Charles Ryder was played by Ben Miles. Sebastian was Jamie Bamber, Mr. Ryder, Benjamin Whitrow, Julia, Anne-Marie Duff, and Brideshead, Toby Jones. Anthony Blanche was Geoffrey Stratfield, Boy Mulcaster, Tom Smith, Hooper, Andrew Wincott, and Jasper, Martin Hyder. Collins was Scott Brooksbank, Cordelia, Abby Ford, and Nanny Hawkins, Anne Beach. The music was composed by Neil Brand. The director was Marion Nancaro. Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, adapted for radio by Jeremy Front, with Ben Miles as Charles, Jamie Bamber as Sebastian, and Benjamin Whitrow as Mr. Ryder. Episode 2.
The Venetian palazzo, where Sebastian's father lived with his mistress, was a little less than it sounded. A narrow Palladian facade, mossy steps, a dark archway of rusticated stone. I was full of curiosity to meet Lord Marchmain, and was first struck by his normality, which, as I saw more of him, I found to be studied. Still, it was odd to think that he was only a few years younger than my father.
And how do you plan to spend your time here? Bathing or sightseeing?
Some sightseeing, anyway.
Cara will like that.
Oh, yes. Do you know, I have been here more times than I can count, and Alex has not once let me inside San Marco.
Charles is very keen on painting.
Yeah? Any particular Venetian painter?
Bellini.
Yes. Which?
I'm afraid I didn't know there were 2.
3, to be precise.
Oh.
You will find that in the great ages, painting was very much a family business. How did you leave England?
It has been lovely.
Was it? Was it? It has been my tragedy that I abominate the English countryside. I suppose it is a disgraceful thing to inherit great responsibilities and to be entirely indifferent to them.
Vittoria Corombona has asked us all to her ball on Saturday.
It's very kind of her, but you know I don't dance.
Not for the boys. It is a thing to be seen. The Corombona Palace lit up for the ball.
It sounds magnificent.
It is, and one doesn't know how many such balls there will be in the future.
The boys can do as they like. We must refuse.
And I have asked Mrs. Hacking-Brunner to lunch, and she has a charming daughter. Sebastian and his friend will like her.
Sebastian and his friend are more interested in Bellini than heiresses.
The fortnight at Venice passed quickly and sweetly. Perhaps too sweetly. I was drowning in honey, stingless.
I think you are very fond of Sebastian.
Certainly.
I know of these romantic friendships of the English and the Germans. They are not Latin. I think they are very good if they do not go on too long. It is better to have that kind of love for another boy than for a girl. Alex had it for a girl, for his wife. Do you think he loves me?
Really, Cora, how should I know? You ask the most embarrassing questions.
He does not. Not the littlest piece.
If that were true, why does he stay with you?
Because I protect him from Lady Marchmain.
Does he need protecting?
He hates her.
Oh.
You can have no conception how he hates her. So calm and English, the milord, rather blasé, old-fashioned dead. My friend, he is a volcano of hate. He will not set foot in England because it is her home. He can scarcely be happy with Sebastian because he is her son. But Sebastian hates her, too.
Oh, no, I'm sure you're wrong there.
He may not admit it to you. He may not admit it to himself. But they are full of hate. Hate of themselves. Alex and his family. Why do you think he will never go into society?
I always thought people had turned against him.
People turn against a handsome, clever, wealthy man like Alex. Never in your life. It is he who has driven them away. And all for Lady Marchmain. He will not touch a hand which might have touched hers.
Surely not. What can she have done to deserve such hatred?
Nothing except to be loved by someone who has not grown up. When people hate with all that energy, it is something in themselves they are hating. Alex is hating all the illusions of boyhood, innocence, God, hope. Poor Lady Marchmain has to bear all that. Now, Alex is very fond of me, and I protect him from his own innocence. We are comfortable.
That I can see.
Sebastian is in love with his own childhood. That will make him very unhappy. His teddy bear, his nanny. He's 19 years old, Charles. How good it is to sit in the shade and talk of love. Sebastian drinks too much.
I suppose we both do.
With you, it doesn't matter. With Sebastian, it is different. Alex was nearly a drunkard when I met him. It's in the blood. I see it in the way Sebastian drinks. It is not your way.
We returned to London, arriving back on the day before term began. On the way from Charing Cross, I dropped Sebastian in the forecourt of Marchmain House.
Here we are again. Marchers. I won't ask you in. The place is probably full of my family.
Thank you, Sebastian.
What for?
Venice.
It was rather lovely, wasn't it? We'll meet in Oxford!
But soon the autumnal mood possessed us both, as though the exuberance of June had died with the gillyflowers, whose scent at my windows now yielded to the damp leaves, smouldering in the corner of the quad.
I feel precisely 100 years old.
What's the matter?
Oh, I've had a talking to from Monsignor Bell this afternoon. That's the 4th since I came up. My tutor, the junior dean, Mr. Samgrass of All Souls, and now Monsignor Bell.
Who's Mr. Samgrass of All Souls?
I was just someone of Mummy's. They all say that I made a very bad start last year, that I have been noticed, and that if I don't mend my ways, I shall get sent down. How does one mend one's ways?
I'm not sure. Join the League of Nations, perhaps? Or read ISIS every week?
Or drink morning coffee at the Cadena Cafe and smoke a great pipe. And play hockey and go out to tea at Boar's Hill and to lectures at Keble. And ride a bicycle with a little tray full of notebooks and drink cocoa in the evenings and discuss sex seriously.
I'm sorry, Sebastian, there's no hope for you.
Oh, Charles, what's happened since last term? I feel so old.
I feel middle-aged. That's infinitely worse. I believe we've had all the fun we can expect here.
Oh.
Have you heard about Anthony Blanche?
Don't tell me he's been ducked in Mercury again. I don't know why Antoine taunts the college hearties. It always ends in trouble.
He's gone down.
Has he? Why?
He wrote to me. Apparently he's taken a flat in Munich and formed an attachment to a policeman there.
I shall miss him.
I suppose I shall too, in a way.
Oh, this is no way to start a term.
It was in this subdued state of mind that Lady Marchmain found Sebastian when, early in that Michaelmas term, she came for a week to Oxford.
Sebastian, Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you had...
It's all right, Charles. Come in. Mummy, this is my friend, Charles Ryder.
How do you do, Mr. Ryder?
Lady Marchmain?
I've heard so much about you from Cordelia.
I shouldn't take any notice of anything Cordelia's told you.
This is Mr. Samgrass.
Mr. Ryder.
Sebastian tells me you're at All Souls.
Indeed so.
Mr. Samgrass has been kind enough to help me with a memorial book about my late brother.
I can assure you, your ladyship, it is no hardship working with such fascinating material.
My brother was killed in the war, and he left a quantity of papers.
Including some very fine poems, if I may say.
That's kind of you. But you see, that's my problem, Mr. Ryder. I naturally find Ned's words extremely poignant. But I'm too close to them to make dispassionate editorial decisions.
Which is where you come in here, Mr. Samgrass.
I try to bring a little intellectual rigour to the editorial process.
A young history don, Samgrass was short, plump, and dapper in dress. Lady Marchmain could not have found a greater contrast to herself than this intellectual on the make. Towards the end of the week, Sebastian said,
You and Mummy are very thick.
Are we?
I warned you how madly charming my family is.
You know she's invited me to stay at Brideshead next vacation.
Will you come?
Would you like me to?
Of course I would, Charles.
In that case, I shall.
One Monday morning, a week or two later, I was in Sebastian's room, waiting for him to return.
Sebastian, are you decent? Charles?
I'm afraid Sebastian's at a tutorial.
Is he really? Well, well. Oh, this is Mr. Mottram.
How do you do?
Hello.
Mr. Ryder very kindly rescued me from nursing duties when Sebastian injured himself last summer.
A noble act indeed.
Oh, let me near the fire, Charles. It's positively Arctic outside.
You think this is cold? You ought to experience a Canadian winter.
I really think I ought not. Will Sebastian be long?
He should be back any time.
Oh, we hoped he might give us some luncheon. Failing him, we can always try Boy Mulcaster. But I somehow thought we should eat rather better with Sebastian. And we're very hungry.
Mm-hmm. Boy and Sebastian are both lunching with me. Won't you come too?
Rex Mottram's life, so far as he made it known, began in the war, where he got a military cross serving with the Canadians. A handsome fellow, we quickly learned that he was lucky with money, a member of Parliament, a gambler, and a good fellow.
Has anyone seen London Calling yet?
I haven't been to the theatre in an age.
Is that the Noel Coward? Yes, we saw it last week. Gertie got us complimentary tickets.
Gertie?
Gertrude Lawrence.
Is there anyone you don't know, Rex?
Remember, he's a colonial, darling. It's his job to know everyone. I think he keeps a little book and ticks the names off as he meets them.
Well, when you move in particular circles, you get to know these people.
Were you up at Oxford, Rex?
Me? No. Just means you start life 3 years behind the other fellow.
We were slightly surprised a week later to get a telegram from him asking us and Boy to dinner in London for a party of Julia's.
Why do you think he's invited us?
I don't think he knows anyone young. All his friends are leathery old sharks in the city, in the House of Commons.
Why does he want Boy?
Julia and I have known him all our lives. I suppose finding him at lunch with you, Rex thought he was a chum. I could try to borrow Hardcastle's car again, and we could drive up.
We were to spend the night at Marchmain House. We went there to dress, and while we dressed, drank a bottle of champagne.
Hello, boys. Don't you look smart? And drinking already, I see.
Why aren't you changed?
I know. I'm going to be late. You better go on to Rex's. It's heavenly of you to come.
What is this party?
A ghastly charity ball I'm involved with. Rex insisted on giving a dinner party for it. See you there.
After you, boy.
Cheers.
Sebastian and I found ourselves drinking alone together, as we always did. At length, Julia arrived, unhurried, exquisite, unrepentant.
You shouldn't have let him wait.
That's what I said.
It's his Canadian courtesy.
Julia, Brenda, come here. There's someone I want you to meet.
Very well.
I say, let's slip away from the ghastly dance and go to Ma Mayfield's.
Who's Ma Mayfield?
You know, Ma Mayfield. Everyone knows Ma Mayfield of the old hundreds.
I don't. Do you, Charles?
What's the old 100th?
You'll like it. I've got a regular there, a sweet little thing called Effie. It'll be the devil to pay if Effie hears I've been to London and hadn't been to see her. Come and meet Effie at Ma Mayfield's.
What do you think?
All right. Excellent. I'll just take another bottle of pop off the good Mottram.
Do you know where this place is?
Of course I do. 100 Sink Street, just off Leicester Square.
We could have walked or taken a taxi.
No. Always better to have one's own car on an occasion like this.
Here we are. Doesn't look too salubrious, boy.
It's fine once you're inside.
You're not going in, are you?
We most certainly are.
You'll be poisoned.
Sure, this is a good idea, boy.
Yes, come along.
You members.
The name is Mulcaster. Viscount Mulcaster.
Try inside.
You'll be robbed, gents. Robbed, poisoned and infected. And robbed!
Members?
I like that. You ought to know me by now.
Yes, dearie, 10 bob each.
Oh, look here. I've never paid before.
I dare say not, dearie, but we're full up tonight, so it's 10 bob. You're lucky anyone who comes in after you will have to pay a quid.
Let me speak to Ma Mayfield.
I am Ma Mayfield.
Yes, of course. Why, Ma? I didn't recognise you in all your finery. You know me, don't you? Boy Mulcaster.
Yes, ducky. 10 bob each.
What are you drinking, gents?
A bottle of your finest champagne. Oh, and tell Effie, boys here, will you?
Effie who?
Effie, one of the girls here. The pretty, dark one.
There's a lot of girls work here. Some of them's dark and some of them's fair. I haven't got the time to know them all by name.
Must remember to tip him.
I'll go and look for Effie.
Have you ever been to a place like this before?
Never quite like this. Charles, I think those two girls are looking at us. If they come over, which one do you like?
The choice of the death's head or the sickly child.
Oh, they're going away. They must have heard you.
Disappointment I'll learn to live with.
Here she is. Charles, Sebastian, allow me to introduce Effie.
Here's your bacon and eggs.
Oh, Tar.
We didn't order bacon.
Lady's got to eat, sir.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course.
That's another 6 bob, sir.
Right.
Don't mind me, gents. First bite I've had all evening. Only thing that's any good is the breakfast. Makes you fair peckish hanging around.
I can imagine.
I've seen you here before, haven't I?
I'm afraid not.
But I've seen you.
Oh, well, I should rather hope so. You haven't forgotten our little evening in September.
No, darling, course not. You were the boy in the guards who cut your toe, weren't you?
Now, Effie, don't be a tease.
Nah, that was another night. I know. You were with Bunty the time the police were in, and we all hid in that place they keep the dustbins.
Effie loves pulling my leg, don't you? She's annoyed with me for staying away so long, aren't you?
Whatever you say. I know I have seen you before somewhere.
Stop teasing.
I weren't teasing, honest. Want to dance?
Not at the minute.
Thank God for that. The shoes pinched something terrible tonight.
Those two girls are back. I'm going to ask them over.
Are you sure that's a good
Ladies, won't you join us?
Well, I've got a better idea. How about a little party? Just the 6 of us over at my place.
Certainly.
It's funny, but we thought you were a couple of fairies when you come in.
That was our extreme youth.
Oh, you're a sport. Isn't he a sport?
Yes, a terribly good sport.
You're very sweet, really.
Thank you.
I must just tell Ma Mayfield we're going out. Take the next right turn. Right into Shaftesbury Avenue.
Why didn't you say Shaftesbury Avenue?
Bloody idiot! For Christ's sake, look where you're going. Do you want to murder us all?
Careless fellow, that cabby.
We're on the other side of the road.
So we should.
Here, stop. I'd sooner walk.
Certainly.
Let me out of this, you madman.
Effie, don't go.
What seems to be the problem here?
Oh, God.
Let me talk to him.
Effie?
I'm sorry if I am impeding the traffic officer, but the lady insisted on my stopping for her to get out. Matter of nerves, you know.
No, sir, I don't know.
This sport, handsome. No one's seen anything but you. The boys didn't mean any harm.
Is that so?
I'll get him into a taxi and I'll see him home.
Well, I suppose...
Look here, my good man. There's no need for you to notice anything. We've just come from Ma Mayfield's. I reckon she pays a nice retainer to keep your eyes shut. Well, you can keep them shut on us too, and you won't be the loser by it.
I say, Charles, are you there?
Yes.
Is that boy snoring?
Yes. And I think he's got a damn nerve going to sleep after getting us into this.
It's a hell of a business.
Can't we get bail or something?
Rex Marchmain. He's the man. He'd be in his element here. Constable! Constable! I wish to speak to the officer in charge.
We had to do our duty, you understand.
Of course, Sergeant.
We really took the young men into custody for their own protection.
Of course, and I'm sure that they are duly contrite.
Actually, I'm pretty damned angry, and I wish to make a formal complaint.
Shut up, boy.
I have been denied legal representation, and consequently my civil rights as a citizen...
You better leave all the talking to me. Now, Sergeant, would you like a cigar, by the way?
Oh, that's very civil of you, sir.
Now, let's see how best we can resolve this little problem, shall we? Morning, boys. Come along. There's a busy day ahead. It's important to make a good appearance at court. Luckily, none of you look much the worse for wear.
Thanks for sorting things out, Rex.
Yes, thank you.
It's not over yet. Sebastian's in a jam.
Why me?
You're liable to anything up to 6 months imprisonment for being drunk in charge of a car.
What? This is all your fault, boy.
I like that.
You'll come up before Grigg, unfortunately. He takes a rather grim view of cases of this sort. Oh. But all that'll happen this morning is that we'll ask to have Sebastian held over for a week to prepare a defense. Charles and Boy, you will plead guilty, say you're sorry, and pay your $5 fine. I'll see what can be done about squaring the evening papers. On no account make any reference to the old 100th.
Well, the police already know we were there.
Never mind that. The tarts were sober and aren't being charged. But their names have been taken as witnesses. If we contest the police evidence, they'll be called, and we have got to avoid that at all costs.
This is a nightmare.
We'll need a Don to give evidence of good character. Julia tells me you've got a tame one called Sam Grass. He'll do.
Oh, no.
Now, meanwhile, your story is simply that you came up from Oxford for a perfectly respectable dance, weren't used to wine, had too much, and lost the way driving home. After that, we'll have to see about fixing things with your authorities at Oxford.
I told them to call my solicitors, and they refused. They've put themselves hopelessly in the wrong, and I don't see why they should get away with it.
Well, for heaven's sake, don't start an argument. Just plead guilty and pay up. You understand?
Everything happened at court as Rex had predicted. At 10:30 we stood in Bow Street. Mulcaster and I, free men. Sebastian bound over to appear in a week's time.
Well, that's that.
For you, maybe.
Yes. Well, I've got some business to attend to, so see you back at Oxford.
Oh, I suppose Mummy's got to hear about it.
I don't see how you can conceal it.
Damn. I won't go home. I've nowhere to go. Let's just slip back to Oxford and wait for them to bother us.
Why not get hold of Julia?
I might go abroad.
My dear Sebastian, you'll only be given a talking to and fined a few pounds.
Yes, but it's all the bother. Mummy and Bridie and all the family and the Dons. I'd sooner go to prison. If I just slip abroad, they can't get me back, can they? That's what people do when the police are after them. I know Mummy will make it seem as she has to bear the whole brunt of the business.
Come on, let's telephone Julia.
Well, you are a pair of pickles. I must say you look remarkably well on it.
I don't feel well.
The only time I got tight, I was paralysed all the next day. I do think you might have taken me with you. The ball was positively lethal, and I've always longed to go to the old 100th. Is it heaven?
So you know all about that, too?
Rex telephoned me this morning and told me everything. What were your girlfriends like?
Don't be prurient.
Mine was like a skull.
Mine was like a consumptive.
Oh, goodness.
Does Mummy know?
Not about your skulls and consumptives. She knows you were in the clink, I told her. She was divine about it, of course.
Was she?
You know, anything Uncle Ned did was always perfect, and he got locked up once for taking a bear into one of Lloyd George's meetings. So she really feels quite human about the whole thing. Oh, she wants you both to have lunch with her.
Oh, God.
The only trouble is the papers and the family. Poor Mummy's in for a ghastly time with them.
We lunched with Lady Marchmain, who accepted the whole thing with humorous resignation. A week later, when Sebastian came up for trial, he was fined £10, and the newspapers reported it all with painful prominence. Mr. Samgrass gave evidence that Sebastian bore an irreproachable character. At Oxford, he interviewed the college authorities, the proctors, and the vice-chancellor, and as a result, the three of us were merely gated for the rest of term. When, after Christmas, I arrived at Brideshead, I found Mr. Samgrass, as though in wait for me, sitting alone before the fire in the room they called the Tapestry Hall.
You find me in solitary possession, Charles.
Mr. Samgrass, what a pleasant surprise.
Lady Marchmain was kind enough to invite me. Come, join me by the fire. All our young friends are fox hunting. Even Sebastian, who, you will not be surprised to hear, looked remarkably elegant in his pink coat.
You weren't tempted to join them? Who else is here?
Oh, there's a convalescent Dominican, Sir Adrian Pawson, of course, and two rather forbidding Magyar cousins. I've tried them in German and French, but in neither tongue are they diverting. All these have driven off with our hostess to visit a neighbour, so I have been spending a cosy afternoon before the fire. Your arrival emboldens me to ring for some tea.
Is Julia here?
Lady Julia departs to celebrate the New Year elsewhere and takes the beau monde with her.
Sir?
Ah, could we have some tea sent up, please?
Sir.
I shall miss the pretty creatures about the house, particularly one Celia, the sister of our old companion in adversity, Boy Mulcaster, and wonderfully unlike him. She has a bird-like style of conversation and a school monitor style of dress which I can only call saucy.
How's the book coming along?
I start in earnest tomorrow.
Draw me a bath, Wilcox.
It is a treasure house of period gems. Pure, authentic 1914.
Charles! You're here. When did you arrive?
Not long ago. Mr. Samgrass has been keeping me entertained.
A successful morning, trust?
Not especially. I lost the hunt early and hacked home.
Sebastian, you're back early. And Charles, so pleased you could join us.
Happy Christmas, Lady Marchmain.
And a happy Christmas to you, too. Who's coming to chapel for the rosary?
I don't think Charles will be interested.
I'm afraid not.
We really must make a Catholic of you, Charles.
I don't think I'm really Catholic material.
I'll come along if I may, Lady Marchmain.
Of course. Sebastian?
I must have a bath at once.
Looks as if it's just you and me, Mr. Samgrass.
Will Lady Julia be joining us?
I'm afraid not. She's been about.
I wish Mr. Samgrass would go. I'm sick of being grateful to him.
Why is he here?
Mummy, come and talk to me while I change.
In the course of the next fortnight, distaste for Mr. Samgrass came to be a little unspoken secret throughout the house. Religion predominated both in practice and conversation. I had many little talks with Lady Marchmain, during which she delicately steered the subject into a holy quarter.
When I was a girl, we were comparatively poor, but still much richer than most of the world. And when I married, I became very rich. It used to worry me.
I don't think it would worry me.
I thought it wrong to have so many beautiful things when other people had nothing. Now I realize that it is possible for the rich to sin by coveting the privileges of the poor.
Are the poor so privileged?
They've always been the favourites of God and his saints. But I believe that it is one of the special achievements of grace to sanctify the whole of life, riches included.
I thought it was easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle.
But of course it is very unexpected for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. But the gospel is simply a catalogue of unexpected things. Animals are always doing the oddest things in the lives of the saints. It's all part of the poetry, the Alice in Wonderland side of religion.
But I was as untouched by her faith as I was by her charm. I had no mind then for anything except Sebastian. and I saw him as already being threatened, though I did not know yet how black was the threat. After a fortnight, he said,
I can't stand Mr. Samgrass any more. Let's go to London.
And so he came to stay with me. We returned to Oxford, but the sadness that had been strong in Sebastian the term before now became a kind of sullenness, even towards me. When he was gay now, it was usually because he was drunk, and when drunk he developed an obsession with mocking Samgrass, either serenading him under his windows,
Greener Samgrass, Samgrass greener,
or on the telephone.
Hello?
Green ass, Samgrass, Samgrass, green ass.
Very amusing, Sebastian. Now, why don't you go and put her up?
Why don't you go?
Good night, Sebastian.
It was during this term that I began to realize that Sebastian was a drunkard in quite a different sense to myself. I got drunk often, but through an excess of high spirits. Sebastian drank to escape. The East party at Brideshead was a bitter time. Sebastian had been drinking hard for a week.
What's become of Sebastian?
I haven't seen him all day.
All right. He's gone to lie down. His cold's worse.
Oh, dear. I hope he isn't getting flu. I thought he had a feverish look once or twice lately. Is there anything he wants?
No, he particularly asked not to be disturbed.
Poor thing.
Perhaps I'll call in to see him on my way up to dress.
Oh, I really wouldn't. Julia. Sebastian's drunk.
He can't be. He didn't even come for a cocktail.
He's been drinking in his room all afternoon.
Oh, very peculiar. What a bore he is. Will he be all right for dinner?
No.
Well, you must deal with him. It's no business of mine. Does he do this often?
He has lately.
How very boring.
Yes?
It's me. Can I come in?
Hold on. Come in, then.
Oh, God, look at you.
Feeling rather drunk. Think I'd better have something on a tray up here. Not dinner with Mummy.
Go to bed.
Yes.
I'll say your cold's worse.
Much worse.
Was this decanter full when you brought it up here?
Yes.
I'll take it back.
You put that down.
Don't be an ass, Sebastian. You've had enough.
What the devil's it got to do with you? You're only a guest here. My guest. I drink what I want to in my own house.
Very well. Only for God's sake, keep it out of sight.
Oh, mind your own business. You came here as my friend. Now you're spying on me for my mother.
Don't be absurd.
I know. Well, you can get out. And tell her from me that I'll choose my friends and she her spies in future.
Ah, Charles. Sorry I'm late. I've been in to see Sebastian. His cold has come on rather badly. He's gone to bed and says he doesn't want anything.
Poor Sebastian. You'd better have a glass of hot whiskey. I'll go and have a look at him.
Oh, don't, Mummy, I'll go.
I'll go.
I really think you'd prefer
Shall
to...
be a minute.
I popped in to have a look at your painting earlier, Charles.
Oh, it's still in a rather unfinished state.
I like it.
Thank you.
It reminds me of Claude. All those feathery trees and ruins and allusions to classical antiquity.
I'm flattered to be mentioned in such luminous company.
The garden room will look lovely when it's finished.
You were right, Charles. He doesn't seem to want anything.
How was he?
Well, I don't know. But I think he's rather drunk.
Cordelia. Charles, is this true?
Yes.
Dinner is served.
We went into the dining room where the subject was not mentioned. When Brideshead and I were left alone, he said,
Did you say Sebastian was drunk?
Yes.
Extraordinary time to choose. Couldn't you stop him?
No.
No. I don't suppose you could. I saw my father drunk in this room. I wasn't more than about 10 at the time. You can't stop people if they want to get drunk. My mother couldn't stop my father, you know.
The more I saw of this family, the more singular I found them. But the horrors of that evening were not yet over.
Well, I think I shall visit the chapel before bed, if anyone would care to join me.
Come to apologise.
Sebastian, dear, do go back to your room. We can talk about it in the morning.
Not to you. Come to apologise to Charles.
There's really no...
I was bloody to you. You're my guest. He's my guest and my friend, and I was bloody to him.
Come on. Let me take you to your room.
Thank you, Charles. You're the best friend a fellow could have.
Time you were in bed.
Bed, yes. Why'd you take their side against me?
I don't, Sebastian, really.
I knew you would, if I let you meet them.
He said more than I can bear to remember, even at 20 years' distance. At last I got him to sleep, and very sadly went to bed myself.
What the hell? Sebastian!
Morning. I've been down to the stables trying to get a car, but everything was locked. We're off. Cigarette?
No. What do you mean off? Where are you going?
I don't know. London, I suppose. Can I come and stay with you?
Of course.
Well, get dressed. They can send our luggage on by train.
We can't just go like this.
We can't stay. There's smoke coming from some of the chimneys. They must have opened the stables. Come on.
I can't just go. I say goodbye to your mother.
Sweet bulldog.
Well, I don't happen to like running away.
And I care less, and I shall go on running away as far and as fast as I can. You can hatch up any plot you like with my mother. I shan't come back.
That's how you talked last night.
I know. I'm sorry, Charles. I told you I was still drunk. If it's any comfort to you, I absolutely detest myself.
It's no comfort at all.
It must be a little, I should have thought. Well, if you won't come, give my love to Nanny.
You're really going?
Of course.
Oh, shall I see you in London?
Yes, I'm coming to stay with you.
Charles.
I don't want to disturb you.
Not at all. Just a little pretty point. Come, sit by me.
I wanted to let you know that I'll be leaving this afternoon.
Oh, I shall miss you. Will you be seeing Sebastian?
Yes. He'll be staying with me.
Good. I wish I had not seen him like that.
Last night?
It was cruel. I don't mind the idea of his being drunk. It's a thing all men do now. What hurt last night was that there was nothing happy about him.
I know. I've never seen him like that
Last
before.
night of all nights, when everyone had gone and only ourselves here. You see, Charles, I look on you very much as one of ourselves, and Sebastian loves you. I can't bear to see him so unhappy.
It was horrible, but please don't think that's his usual way.
Mr. Samgrass told me he was drinking too much all last term.
Yes, but not like that. Never before.
Why now, here, with us? All night I've been thinking and praying and wondering what I was to say to him, and now this morning he isn't here at all. That was cruel of him, leaving without a word.
I know.
I don't want him to be ashamed. It's being ashamed that makes it all so wrong of him.
He's ashamed of being unhappy.
I believe you and he tease Mr. Samgrass, rather.
Yes.
It's naughty of you. I'm very fond of Mr. Samgrass, and you should be too, after all he's done for you. But I think if I were your age and a man, I might be just a little inclined to tease him myself. But last night... You see, it's all happened before.
I can only say I've been drunk with him often, but last night was quite...
I don't mean Sebastian. I mean years ago. I've been through it all before with... Well, you must know what I mean.
Yes.
His father used to be drunk in just that way. Someone told me he's not like that. Now, I pray God it's true. He ran away too, you know. It was as you said just now. He was ashamed of being unhappy. Both of them, unhappy, ashamed, and running away. I simply don't understand it. do you, Charles?
Only very little.
And yet Sebastian is fonder of you than of any of us, you know. You've got to help him. I can't.
It was an hour before she had said what she meant to say. Then, as I rose to leave her, she added, as though in an afterthought,
I wonder... I've seen my brother's book. It has just come out.
I looked through a copy in Sebastian's room.
I should like you to have a copy. May I give you one?
Yes, of course. Thank you.
They were 3 splendid men, my brothers. Ned was the best of them. He was the last to be killed. When the telegram came, as I knew it would come, I thought, now it's my son's turn to do what Ned can never do. I was alone. Sebastian was just going to Eton. If you read Ned's book, you'll understand. Let me write in it for you. There.
Thank you.
I prayed for you, too, in the night.
I was no fool. I was old enough to know that an attempt had been made to suborn me, and young enough to have found the experience agreeable. In the train to London, I read the book Lady Marchmain had given me. Mr. Sandgrass's deft editorship had assembled a curiously homogeneous little body of writing. I wondered, as the train carried me farther and farther from Lady Marchmain, whether perhaps there were not on her, too, the same blaze, marking her and hers for destruction by other ways than war.
Charles!
You seem considerably jollier than you were this morning.
It must be the clean London air.
Cordelia sent you her special love.
And did you have a little talk with Mummy?
Yes.
Have you gone over to her side?
No.
Oh.
I'm with you, Sebastian. Contra mundum.
Thank you, Charles.
But the shadows were closing around Sebastian. We returned to Oxford, and once again the gillyflowers bloomed under my windows. But it was not as it had been. We looked for lodgings for the coming term and found them in Merton Street, a secluded, expensive little house near the tennis court.
Hello, Charles.
Oh, hello.
And what have we here? Oh, yes, that's good. I haven't read that, but hear favourable reports. I hear you're planning to share digs with Sebastian.
Yes.
So he is coming up this term.
Why shouldn't he be?
I don't know. I somehow thought perhaps he wouldn't. I'm always wrong about things like that. I like Merton Street.
So do we.
Your book, sir.
Thank you.
Can I help you, sir?
Just this, please. Have you read the Tractatus Logico-Philosophicus, Charles?
I don't believe I have.
Is this fellow Wittgenstein's a great new mind?
Really?
Don't think me interfering, you know. But I shouldn't make any definite arrangement in Merton Street until you're sure.
But I shouldn't make any definite arrangement in Merton Street until you're sure.
Yes, there's a plot on. Drink?
Oh, thanks. Is this a real plot? Or something you've conjured up in your imagination?
Oh, it's real enough. Mummy wants me to go and live with Monsignor Bell.
Why didn't you tell me?
Because I'm not going to live with Monsignor Bell.
I still think you might have told me about it. When did it start?
Oh, it's been going on. Mummy's Weber, you know. She saw she'd failed with you. I expect it was the letter you wrote after reading Uncle Ned's book.
I hardly said anything.
That was it. If you were going to be any help to her, you would have said a lot. Uncle Ned is the test, you know.
But it seemed she had not quite despaired. For a few days later, I got a note from her.
I shall be passing through Oxford on Tuesday and hope to see you and Sebastian for luncheon. I should like to see you alone for 5 minutes before I see him. Is that too much to ask? I will come to your rooms at about 12. What charming rooms.
I rather like them.
My brother Simon and Ned were here, you know. Oh, and what a lovely drawing. It must be one of yours.
It is.
Everyone loves your paintings, garden room. We shall never forgive you if you don't finish them. I expect you've guessed already what I've come to ask. Is Sebastian drinking too much this term?
If you were, I shouldn't answer. As it is, I can say no.
I believe you. Thank God.
Seated one day at the organ, I was weary and ill at ease, and my fingers wandered idly over the noisy keys. I know not what I was playing or what I was dreaming then, but I struck one chord of music like the voice of a great amen.
Lady Marchmain came to see me again. We talked as we walked.
You must believe me that when I told you Sebastian was not drinking, I was telling you the truth as I knew it.
I know you wish to be a good friend
That's
to
not
him.
what I mean. I believed what I told you. I still believe it to some extent.
Charles.
I believe he has been drunk 2 or 3 times before. Not more.
It's no good, Charles. All you can mean is that you've not as much influence or knowledge of him as I thought. It's no good to either of us trying to believe him. I've known drunkards before. Love of truth is the first thing that goes. You know I had been doubtful about his sharing rooms with you.
Yes.
You also know that we are all fond of you, apart from your being Sebastian's friend. We should miss you so much if you ever stopped coming stay with us. But I want Sebastian to have all sorts of friends, not just one.
You can't force someone to make friendships.
Monsignor Bell tells me he never mixes with the other Catholics, never goes to the Newman, and very rarely goes to Mass even. Heaven forbid that he should know only Catholics, but he must know some. Needs a very strong faith to stand entirely alone, and Sebastian's isn't strong.
You know I don't share your faith.
Of course.
Nor can I be expected to persuade Sebastian against his will.
I wouldn't expect such a thing. But after his behaviour on Tuesday night... No, Charles, it is not the logic of thing.
Well, have you a remedy?
College are being extremely kind. They say they will not send him down, provided he goes to live with Monsignor Bell.
Lady Marchmain, if you want to make him a drunkard, that's the way to do it.
I'm afraid I must disagree.
Don't you see that any idea of his being watched would be fatal?
Oh, dear, it's no good trying to explain. Protestants always think Catholic priests are spies.
I don't mean that, but surely you can see... Sebastian must feel free.
But he's been free up till now, and look at the result.
I take it you've just come from Mummy.
You know.
I'm going to cable Papa. He won't let them force me into this priest's house.
But if they make it a condition of your coming up...
I shan't come up.
Sebastian!
Can you imagine me serving Mass twice a week, being explained when I was out of the room as the rather embarrassing local inebriate who's been taken in because his mother is so charming?
I told her it wouldn't do.
Shall we get really drunk tonight?
It's the one time it could do no conceivable harm.
Contra mundum.
Contra mundum.
Bless you, Charles. There aren't many evenings left to us.
Next day, Lady Marchmain left Oxford, taking Sebastian with her.
What about these items?
The skull's mine, the Chinese vase is Sebastian's.
My mother believes Sebastian is a confirmed drunkard.
I know.
Is he?
He's in danger of becoming one.
I believe God prefers drunkards to a lot of respectable people.
For God's sake, why bring God into everything?
I'm sorry. I forgot. But you know, that's an extremely funny question.
Is it?
To me, not to you.
It seems to me that without your religion, Sebastian would have the chance to be a happy and healthy man.
It's arguable. Do you think he'll need this elephant's foot again?
Sebastian gone, I was the loneliest man in Oxford. I got through the remainder of the term somehow, then returned to London with no plans made.
That very good-looking friend of yours, is he not with you?
No.
Ah, sorry. I liked him.
Father, do you particularly want me to take my degree?
I want you to? Good gracious, why should I want such a thing? There's no use to me. There's not much use to you either, as far as I can see.
That's exactly what I've been thinking. I thought perhaps it was rather a waste of time going back to Oxford.
You've been sent down.
No.
My brother warned me of this.
I've not been sent down.
Well, then what's all the talk about? Everyone stays up at least 3 years. I knew one man who took 7 years to get a pass degree in theology.
I only thought if I was not going to take up one of the professions where a degree is necessary, it might be best to start now on what I intend doing.
And what is that?
I intend to be a painter.
To this, my father made no answer at the time. The idea, however, seemed to take root in his mind, and by the time we spoke of the matter again, it was firmly established.
When you're a painter, you'll need a studio.
Yes.
Well, there isn't a studio here. There isn't a room you could use decently as a studio. Well, I'm not going to have you painting in the gallery.
No, I never meant to.
Nor will I have undraped models all over the house. Nor critics with their horrible jargon. And I don't like the smell of turpentine. I presume you intend to do the thing thoroughly and use oil paint?
I don't suppose I shall do much painting in the first year.
Huh?
Anyway, I shall be working at a school.
Ah, abroad. There's excellent schools abroad, I believe.
I should like to have a look round first.
Yeah, well, look round abroad.
Then you agree to my leaving Oxford?
Agree, my dear boy. You're 22.
20. 21 in October.
Is that all? Oh, seems much longer.
A few days later, I received a letter from Lady Marchmain.
My dear Charles, Sebastian left me this morning to join his father abroad. The college has sent him down for a term only, and will take him back after Christmas, on condition he goes to live with Monsignor Bell. It is for him to decide. Meanwhile, Mr. Samgrass has very kindly consented to take charge of him. As soon as his visit to his father is over, Mr. Samgrass will pick him up. They will go together to the Levant. When they come home at Christmas, I know Sebastian will want to see you, and so shall we all. Yours sincerely, Teresa Marchmain.
Now, this photograph is the caravan at Aleppo in the courtyard of the inn. That's our Armenian cook, Begid Biam.
It was 2 days after Christmas, and my first evening back at Brideshead.
That's me on a pony. And that's the tent folded up.
Cordelia, sorry.
It was also Sebastian and Mr. Samgrass's first evening since returning from their trip to the Levant.
Ah, now, I took this just as we reached the top of the pass. Then we heard the galloping horses behind, and 2 soldiers rode up and turned us back. The general had sent them, and they reached us only just in time. There was a band not a mile ahead.
A band? Goodness.
I suppose the sort of folk music read in those parts is very monotonous.
Dear Lady Marchmain, a band of brigands.
Quiet, Cordelia.
The mountains are full of them. Stragglers from Kamal's army. Greeks who got cut off in the retreat. Very desperate fellows, I can assure you.
Do pinch me, Charles. Ouch!
So, you never got to wherever it was?
Sadly not.
Weren't you terribly disappointed, Sebastian?
Me? I don't think I was there that day, was I, Sammy?
That was the day you were ill.
I was ill.
That's a rather tiresome curd.
It was plain to anyone with a poker sense that Mr. Samgrass held a very imperfect hand, and, as I watched him, I began to suspect that he was not only bluffing, but cheating. There was something he must say, did not want to say, and did not quite know how to say to Lady Marchmain about the whole Levantine tour.
But whom? Of course I haven't got them in chronological order yet.
All guides and ruins and mules. Where's Sebastian?
He held the camera. He became quite an expert as soon as he learned not to put his hand over the lens, didn't you, Sebastian? Here's a group taken by a street photographer on the terrace of the St. George Hotel at Beirut. There's Sebastian.
Isn't that Anthony Blanche?
Yes, we saw quite a lot of him. Met him by chance at Constantinople. A delightful companion. He came with us all the way to Beirut, didn't he, Sebastian?
Come and see Nanny, Charles.
Can I come too? Aren't you at all pleased to be home?
Of course I'm pleased.
Well, you might show it a bit. I've been looking forward to it so much.
Come in.
Hello, Nanny.
Hello.
Hello, dears. Ooh, you are looking peaky, Sebastian. I expect it's all that foreign food. Looks as though you've been having some late nights, too.
1 or 2.
I can see it in your eyes. Dancing, I suppose. Oh, and that shirt needs darning. Bring it to me before it goes to the wash. And what have you been up to, Master Charles?
I've been studying art in Paris.
Paris, is it?
Do you live in a garret?
Actually, I've got some rather nice rooms on the Ile Saint-Louis.
I've never understood why artists feel the need to starve in garrets.
I suppose I always thought it was good for the soul, like fast days. Are your friends all bohemians and frightfully debauched?
What do you know about debauchery, child?
Half of them want to earn a living doing advertisements for Vogue and decorating nightclubs.
Modern art is all bosh, isn't it, Charles?
Great bosh.
Oh, I'm so glad. I had an argument with one of our nuns, and she said we shouldn't try and criticise what we didn't understand. Now I shall tell her I have it straight from a real artist, and snubs to her.
Ooh, Cordelia.
Presently it was time for Cordelia to go to her supper, and for Sebastian and me to go down to the drawing room for cocktails.
What will you have, Charles?
Oh, just a...
That's odd, no cocktail tray.
Oh, it really doesn't matter.
Matter? Of course it matters. I'll ring for Wilcox.
How was Anthony?
He had a beard.
A beard?
It looked absurd.
I can't imagine him with a beard.
I made him take it off.
My lord?
Where's Wilcox?
Mr. Wilcox is upstairs with her ladyship.
Well, never mind. Bring the cocktail things.
Mr. Wilcox has the keys, my lord.
Oh, for goodness. Send him in with them when he comes down.
Yes, sir.
Did Anthony talk much about what he's been doing?
Incessantly. Most of it lies, I should imagine.
What happened to his German policeman?
He said something about it. Where on earth is Wilcox?
I'm sure he would...
I don't want a cocktail anyway.
Ah, Sebastian.
I'm off to my bath, Bridie. Perhaps you'd give Charles a drink.
I should go and dress, too.
Just a moment, Charles. There's something I've got to explain. My mother has given orders that no drinks are to be left in any of the rooms. You'll understand why.
I can guess.
If you want anything, ring and ask Wilcox. Only better wait until you're alone. I'm sorry, but there it is.
Is that necessary?
I gather very necessary. You may or may not have heard that Sebastian had another outbreak as soon as he got back to England.
I hadn't.
He was lost over Christmas. Mr. Samgrass only found him yesterday evening.
Are you sure this is the best way of dealing with it?
It's my mother's way. Now, will you have a cocktail now that he's gone upstairs?
Thanks for the offer, Bridie, but I think it would choke me.
In the second of 4 episodes of Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, adapted for radio by Jeremy Front, Charles Ryder was played by Ben Miles, Sebastian was Jamie Bamber, Mr. Ryder, Benjamin Whitrow, Lady Marchmain, Eleanor Bron, Julia, Anne-Marie Duff, and Brideshead, Toby Jones. Lord Marchmain was Edward Petherbridge, Cara, Liza Sadovy, Rex Mottram, William Hope, and Mr. Samgrass, Thomas Arnold. Boy Mulcaster was Tom Smith, the charge officer, Martin Hyder, Death's Head, Emma Williams, and Sickly Child, Laura Doddington. Cordelia was Abby Ford, Nanny Hawkins, Anne Beach, and Wilcox, Andrew Wincott. The music was composed by Neil Brand. The director was Marion Nankaro. Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, adapted for radio by Jeremy Front, with Ben Miles as Charles, Jamie Bamber as Sebastian, and Eleanor Bron as Lady Marchmain. Episode 3. That Christmas at Brideshead was an unhappy time. I had been living in Paris, and Sebastian had just returned from his tour of the Levant. He was paler, thinner, and pouchy under the eyes. He looked down at heel, too, with unkempt clothes and hair.
Who the hell? Oh, it's you. You gave me a fright.
So, you managed to get a drink, I see.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, for Christ's sake, you don't have to pretend with me. You might offer me some.
It's just something I had in my flask. I've finished it now.
What's going on?
Nothing. A lot. I'll tell you sometime.
Why not now?
Leave it, Charles.
Are you coming down?
Not yet. I'll see you down there.
Well, what's going on?
Oh, just another boring family peg town. Sebastian got tight again, so we've all got to keep an eye on him. It's too tedious.
It's pretty boring for him, too.
Well, it's his fault. Why can't he behave like anyone else? Talking of keeping an eye on people, what about Mr. Samgrass?
What about him?
Do you notice anything at all fishy about that man?
Very fishy. Do you think your mother sees it?
Mummy only sees what suits her. She can't have the whole household under surveillance. I'm causing anxiety too, you know.
I didn't know. I've only just come from Paris.
We dined in the painted parlour.
As a matter of fact, it was really quite delicious.
So sorry I'm late, everyone.
Mr. Samgrass was just telling us about a rather curious meal he ate in the Levant.
Do carry on.
Well, very much to my surprise, and once
I watched the champagne go round the table until it came to Sebastian.
I'll have whiskey, please.
I saw Wilcox glance over his head to Lady Marchmain, who gave a hardly perceptible nod. The tiny decanter which Wilcox put before Sebastian was half empty. Sebastian raised it very deliberately, tilted it, looked at it, and then in silence poured the liquor into his glass.
Who's hunting tomorrow?
Cordelia. Yeah, I'm taking that young horse of Julia's, just to show him the hounds. I shan't keep him out more than a couple of hours.
Rex is arriving sometime. I better stay in to greet him.
I'd like to hunt, please, if there's anything for me.
Oh, of course. That's delightful. I'd have asked you, only you always used to complain so of being made to go out.
You could have Tinkerbell. She's been going very nicely this season.
I rather wish I was coming out with you tomorrow.
Well, you wouldn't see much sport.
Why not?
Because I shall leave Bridie at the first covert, hack over to the nearest good pub and spend the rest of the day quietly soaking in the bar parlour.
Well, I can't stop you.
You can, as a matter of fact.
Oh?
By not giving me any money.
I don't understand.
They stopped my bank account in the summer.
Oh, Sebastian.
It's been one of my chief difficulties. I pawned my watch and cigarette case to ensure a happy Christmas. So I shall have to come to you tomorrow for my day's expenses.
Well, you know perfectly well I can't.
Can't you, Charles? Well, I dare say I shall manage on my own somehow. I've got rather clever at that lately, managing on my own. I've had to.
What have you and Mr. Samgrass been up to?
He told you at dinner. Ruins and guides and mules, that's what Sammy's been up to. We decided to go our own ways, that's all.
And you? What were you doing when he was visiting ruins?
We began on a grand tour, but he had his work cut out keeping his eye on me. My lucky time was at Constantinople. I managed to make some money at cards one evening when Sammy wasn't looking. Next day, I gave him the slip and was having a very happy hour in the bar at the Decathlon when...
Good Lord above, Sir Sebastian Flyte.
Antoine, what a delight.
I don't know why I should be surprised. One is always bumping into old school chums in unlikely places.
Why have you grown a beard?
Well, I think it rather distinguished, and it makes me feel ostentatiously masculine. Do you like it?
There's a hint of the Navy about it.
Allow me to introduce you to my friend, Jesus. This is Lord Sebastian Flyte.
Hello.
How do you do?
What brings you to Constantinople, my dear?
I just popped in for a drink.
Just the one?
Sebastian!
Oh, no.
Who's the sweaty little man under the Panama?
Never mind. You couldn't lend me a tenner, could you?
Oh, yes, of course, here.
Thanks.
Where have you been, Sebastian? I've looked everywhere.
After that, I didn't get a minute out of Sammy's sight until Athens, when I simply went down to the port. Found a sailor who spoke American, lay up with him till his ship sailed, popped back to Constantinople, and that was that.
What was what?
I stayed there till it got too cold. Then Anthony and I drifted south till we met Sammy by appointment in Syria 3 weeks ago.
Didn't Sammy mind?
Oh, I think he quite enjoyed himself in his own ghastly way. So here I am, with Christmas behind me. I was determined to have a happy one.
And did you?
I think so. Don't remember it much. That's always a good sign, isn't it?
Oh,
Sebastian, do go and change. You look so lovely in hunting clothes.
Gibbs couldn't find them.
That's a fib. I helped him get them out myself before you were called.
Not in pink, Sebastian.
Don't you start.
Tell him, Charles.
Leave me alone, child. Charles, a moment, if you please. Look, I left my flask here to be filled with all the others. Empty, see? I can't even be trusted that far. It's they who are mad, not me. Now, you can't refuse me money.
Here's £1.
More?
Just one.
Thanks. You're assured a place in heaven.
So, Sebastian is in pursuit of the fox, and our little problem is shelved for an hour or two, eh?
I heard all about your grand tour last night.
Ah, I rather supposed you might have. I did not harrow our hostess with all that.
No.
After all, it turned out far better than anyone had any right to expect. I did feel, however, that some explanation was due to her of Sebastian's Christmas festivities. You may have observed last night that there were certain precautions.
I did.
You thought them excessive?
Frankly, yes.
I am with you, particularly as they tend to compromise the comfort of our own little visit. I have had a talk upstairs with our hostess this morning. I think we may hope for some relaxation tonight.
I'm not sure that tonight would be the best time to start the relaxation.
But surely... Why not tonight? After a day in the field under Brideshead's inquisitorial eye.
I suppose it's none of my business, really.
Well, nor mine, strictly, now that he is safely home. And yet you specifically advise against it tonight. I wonder why. Sebastian can come to no mischief today. For one thing, he has no money. I even have his watch and cigarette case upstairs.
You do?
Just as a safeguard, you understand. He will be quite harmless. As long as no one is so wicked as to give him any money...
Quiet, Bobby.
Ah, Lady Julia, good morning to you. Good morning. And how is the peak this hunting morning?
Oh, the little peak's all right. But I've got Rex and Mottram coming here today, and we simply can't have another evening like last night. Someone must speak to Mummy.
Someone has. I spoke.
Oh.
I think it will be all right.
Well, thank God for that. Are you painting today, Charles?
Yes, actually, I'm just on my way to the garden room.
Good. I'll come with you if that's all right.
Yes, of course.
I like seeing your work in progress. See you at lunch, Mr. Samgrass. Come on, Bobby.
Good afternoon, Lady Marchmain. Merry Christmas to one and all.
So lovely to see you, Rex.
Mummy, do look at Rex's Christmas present.
There you go, boy.
Oh, good grief.
A tortoise.
Look, it's got my initials set in diamonds in a shell.
Dear me. I wonder if it eats the same sort of things as an ordinary tortoise.
What will you do when it's dead?
Oh, Mr. Samgrass.
Can you have another tortoise fitted into its shell?
Perhaps it could be mounted on a wall.
Can we please change the subject?
It has taken a rather gruesome turn.
Let's have some tea.
So, what's to be done with Sebastian?
Good old Rex, straight to the point.
I'm sorry, I don't wish to stir things up.
No, it's like a breath of fresh air after all the whispering. Don't you think, Charles?
I'm not at all sure I should get involved.
Well, you are involved, whether you like it or not. Anyway, Rex has had a terribly good idea.
Oh, yes?
Send him to Berethus at Zurich. Berethus is the man.
Berethus.
He works miracles every day at that sanatorium of his. You know how Charlie Kilcartney used to drink?
No, I'm afraid I don't know how Charlie Kilcartney drank.
Well, 2 wives despaired of him. And when he got engaged to Sylvia, she made it a condition that he should take the cure at Zurich. And it worked. And he hasn't touched a drop since, even though Sylvia walked out on him.
Why did she do that?
Poor Charlie got rather a bore when he stopped drinking.
It's a pity this Berethus can't cure a man of becoming tedious.
That's not really the point of the story.
No, I suppose not.
I suppose really it's meant to be an encouraging story.
He takes sex cases, too, you know.
Yeah, very peculiar friends Sebastian will make in Zurich.
He's booked up for months ahead, but I think he'd find a room if I asked him. I could telephone him from here tonight.
We'll think about it.
Hello all. Oh, Julia, what's that? How beastly.
It's Rex's Christmas present.
Oh, sorry. I'm always putting my foot in it. But how cruel
Paul, it must have hurt frightfully.
They can't feel.
How do you know? Bet they can. I'm going to ring for scrambled eggs. I had one tea at Mrs. Barney's, but I'm still hungry.
How was your day, darling?
Spiffing. Jean's Strickland Venables fell in the mud.
Oh, Cordelia.
We ran from Bangers to Upper Eastry without a check. I reckon that's 5 miles, don't you, Bridie?
3.
Not as he ran. Ah, Wilcox, I'd like scrambled eggs, please. And tell cook not to stint. I'm absolutely ravenous.
Yes, miss.
No sign of Lord Sebastian, Wilcox?
I expect he got lost.
No, my lady.
He must have stopped for tea with someone. How very unlike him.
I do hope dear Sebastian hasn't run into any trouble, eh, Charles?
But half an hour later, when Wilcox brought in the cocktail tray, he said,
Lord Sebastian has just rung up to be fetched from South Twining.
South Twining? Who lives there?
He was speaking from the hotel, my lady.
South Twining? Goodness, he did get lost.
When he arrived, I saw that he was 2/3 drunk. At length, when Lady Marchmain, Julia, and the servants left us, Brideshead said,
You'd best go to bed, Sebastian.
Have some port first.
Yes, have some port if you want it, but don't come into the drawing room.
Too bloody drunk. Like olden times. Gentlemen always too drunk to join ladies in olden times.
Well, I'm going through. Good night.
Shall I stay, Sebastian?
No, you join the ladies, Charles. Join the ladies, like a gentleman. And you, Sammy.
You know, I think he must have been drinking by himself today, Charles. Where did he get the money?
Morning.
Oh, is it?
Shall I open the curtains?
I'd rather you didn't.
Tell me honestly, do you want me to stay here at Brideshead?
No, Charles. I don't believe I do.
I'm no help.
No help.
Very well. Goodbye, Sebastian.
Goodbye, Charles.
Charles?
Lady Marchmain, I was just coming to find you. Sadly, I must leave.
There's something I must ask you. Did you give Sebastian money yesterday?
Yes.
Knowing how he was likely to spend it?
Yes.
I don't understand. I simply don't understand how anyone can be so callously wicked. We all liked you so much. Did you hate us all the time? I don't understand how we deserved it.
But I was unmoved. There was no part of me remotely touched by her distress. It was as I had often imagined being expelled from school. I almost expected to hear her say, I have already written to inform your unhappy father. But as I drove away and turned back to take my last view of the house, I felt that I was leaving a part of myself behind, and that wherever I went afterwards I should feel the lack of it, and search hopelessly, as ghosts are said to do. Thus I returned to Paris.
Darling Charles, I was so very miserable when you went. You might have come and said goodbye. I heard all about your disgrace, and I'm writing to say that I'm in disgrace too. I sneaked Wilcox's keys and got whiskey for Sebastian, and got caught. And there was and is an awful row. Mr. Samgrass has gone. Good. And I think he's in a bit of disgrace too, but I don't know why. Mr. Mottram is very popular with Julia. Bad. And is taking Sebastian away. Bad, to a German doctor. Julia's tortoise disappeared. We think it buried itself, as they do, and there goes a packet. Expression of Mr. Mottram's. I am very well. With love from Cordelia.
Have you got him?
Sebastian's given you the slip.
We arrived in Paris last night, and we're going on to Zurich today. I left him at the Lottie after dinner, as he said he was tired, and went round to the Travellers for a game.
So you came back and found him gone?
I wish I had. I found him sitting up for me. I had a run of luck at the Travellers and cleaned up a packet. Sebastian pinched the lot while I was asleep. All he left me were 2 first-class tickets to Zurich, stuck in the edge of the looking glass. I had nearly 300 quid, blast him.
And now he may be anywhere.
Anywhere. You're not hiding him, by any chance?
No. My dealings with that family are over.
I think mine are just beginning. I say, won't you dine with me tonight?
Yes. Where?
Well, I usually go to Chiro's.
Why not pie out?
Never heard of it. I'm paying, you know.
I know you are. Let me order dinner.
All right.
Shall we say 8?
The Marchioness got what she called a bad conscience about you.
Oh, did she now?
She piled it on pretty thick, I gather, at your last meeting.
Callously wicked.
Hard words. Mr. Samgrass came a cropper.
Good.
Julia gave him away. He'd begun to stick his nose into our affairs, you see. So, one afternoon when Sebastian was tight, she got the whole story of the grand tour out of him, and that was the end of Mr. Samgrass.
And what about the row with Cordelia?
Oh, that eclipsed everything. The kid's a walking marvel. She'd been feeding Sebastian whiskey right under our noses for a week. That's when the Marchioness finally crumbled. You know, she's a very sick woman.
No.
Might peg out any minute.
How on earth do you know?
Well, it's the kind of thing I hear. The way her family are going at the moment, I wouldn't give her more than a year.
Good God.
I know just the man for her in Vienna. But Ma Marchmain won't do anything about it. I suppose it's something to do with her crackpot religion. Not to take care of the body. You know, the food here isn't half bad.
I know.
Someone ought to take this place up and make something of it. I'll tell you another thing, too. The Flytes will get a jolt financially soon if they don't look out.
I thought they were enormously rich.
People like that are poorer than they were in 1914, and the Flytes don't seem to realize it. I don't mean they'll be paupers, but there'll be a shake-up coming soon when the upper classes get the wind up. The first idea is usually to cut down on the girls, and that is why I'd like to get the little matter of a marriage settlement through before it comes. You see, Ma Marchmain doesn't like me, and I don't care. It's not her I want to marry. She says we live in different atmospheres. But Julia happens to fancy my atmosphere. And then the old girl brings up religion.
They all bring up religion.
I've nothing against her church. She can bring the children up Catholic. I'll make all the promises they want. And then there's my past. You may know I've been tied up with someone else for a year or two.
Yeah, I'd heard something.
Well, that's all washed up. And Ma Marchmain was too delicate to mention the subject. All she'd say was that I had notoriety. But what does she expect as a son-in-law? A sort of half-baked monk like Brideshead? Anyway, I don't want to marry without doing the thing properly. Nothing hole in the corner. Well, that's why I'm off to see the old man. I gather he's likely to agree to anything he knows will upset the Marchioness.
You're off to Venice?
Monte Carlo. That's where he is at the moment. Garçon!
Oui, monsieur.
What other brandy have you got?
Well, this is not good.
Yeah, I think you probably got something a little better, eh? Something a little older tucked away.
Un moment, s'il vous plaît, monsieur.
Yes.
So they gave Rex a balloon the size of his head and wheeled out of its hiding place the vast and mouldy bottle they kept for people of Rex's sort.
Ah, that's the stuff. You see, Charles, they've always got some tucked away, but they won't bring it out unless you make a fuss.
At the beginning of May, the engagement was announced, and in the middle of June, Rex and Julia married very quietly at the Savoy Chapel. No royalty was present, nor was the Prime Minister, nor any of Julia's family. It sounded to me like the kind of hole-in-the-corner affair Rex was anxious to avoid. I returned to London in the spring of 1926 for the general strike.
Hello, Father.
Charles? Oh, dear. How delightful to see you again, so soon.
I've been abroad for 15 months.
15? Is it really? You come at a very awkward time, you know. They're having another of these strikes in 2 days. Oh, such a lot of nonsense. And I don't know when you'll be able to get away.
One of my friends had been asked to a party in Regent's Park. I was scarcely inside the door when I heard an unmistakable voice.
Do stop goggling at the dancers, boy. They are artists, my dear Mulcaster, very great artists, to be revered. Speaking of artists, here's the divine Charles Ryder.
Thank God, here's someone I know. How have you been, Charles?
Well, thanks. I've been living abroad.
Paris, or so my spies tell me.
Who is our hostess?
Lord knows. Girl brought me. Can't see her anywhere.
She's given you the slip, my dear, and shall I tell you why?
Why?
Because you look ridiculously out of place, Mulcaster. It isn't your kind of party at all. You ought not to be here. You ought to go away to the old 100th or some lugubrious dance in Belgrave Square.
Just come from one. Too early for the old 100th. I'll stay on a bit. Things may cheer up.
I spit it. Let me talk to you, Charles.
We took a bottle and found a corner in another room. Almost immediately, inevitably, we began to talk of Sebastian.
My dear, he's such a sot. He came to live with me in Marseille last year when you threw him over, and really it was as much as I could stand. Sip, 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 like a dowager all day long. And so sly. I was always missing little things, my dear. Things I rather liked.
And you're certainly with Sebastian? Taking things, I mean?
Well, admittedly, there were some rather queer fish coming in and out of my little apartment. Who knows better than you my taste for queer fish? But eventually we found the pawn shop where Sebastian was popping them. I can see that puritanical, disapproving look in your eye, dear Charles, as though you thought I had led the boy on.
Heaven forfend, Antoine.
I said to him again and again, why drink? If you want to be intoxicated, there are so many much more delicious things. So I took him to quite the best man. Everyone we know had been using him for years. But Sebastian gave him a bad check, and a lot of very menacing men came round to the flat. Thugs, my dear.
Ah, there you are.
Still here, then, boy?
Not a soul in the place I ever set eyes on before. All black fellows.
We left Marseille, went to Tangier, and there, my dear, Sebastian took up with his new friend, a great clod of a German who'd been in the Foreign Legion and got out by shooting off his great toe. Sebastian found him in the Casbah and brought him to stay with us. It was too macabre. And so I came back to good old England.
This is the dullest party I've been to in ages.
Do you think it might be witty to give the fire alarm?
Yes, boy. Run away and ring it.
Might cheer things up.
Was that the last you saw of Sebastian?
I think he and his lame chum went to French Morocco. They were in trouble with the Tangier police when I left them. The Marchioness has been a positive pest ever since I came back to London.
In what way?
Oh, trying to make me get in touch with them. What a time that poor woman's having. It only shows there's some justice in life.
That's my girl, over there, with that black fellow. The girl who brought me.
She seems to have forgotten you now.
Yes. I wish I hadn't come. Let's go somewhere. I've telephoned the brigade.
You boys go. I have other fish to fry.
We were too young to fight in the war.
Yes.
Other chaps fought, millions of them dead. Not us.
No.
We'll show them. We'll show the dead chaps we can fight too.
That's why I'm here. Rallying to old country in the hour of need.
What you in?
Nothing yet.
Only one thing to join. Bill Meadows' show. Defence Corps.
I'll join.
So I joined Bill Meadows' show, which was a flying squad, protecting food deliveries to the poorest parts of London.
It's just like the Eton Wall game. Come on, Charles, let's get stuck in.
Watch out! Boy, help me with the policeman.
My mate's over there. He's in a bad way.
Don't worry, someone will get him.
Charles, I think the mob's turning nasty.
Look out!
Right, now's our chance. Come on, Charles, let's get him!
That was my only taste of action. Next day, the general strike was called off, and the country everywhere, except in the coalfields, returned to normal.
Hello?
Hello, Charles?
Julia! How did you know I was back in England?
Celia Mulcaster told me. She said you and Boy had got into some rumpus together.
Yes. How are you?
Well, I'm well, but I'm afraid Mummy isn't at all. In fact, she's terribly ill.
Oh, I am sorry to hear that.
Charles, I know your last meeting was somewhat strained, but she's very anxious to see you. Would you mind awfully?
Don't be silly, Julia. Of course I'll come.
Charles. Oh, sweet of you to come.
Not at all.
Mummy's kept asking for you. You know she's dying.
You said she was ill, but...
She may live a week or two, or she may go at any minute. She's so weak.
I'm sorry.
Come in.
Excuse me, Lady Julia, but I need to pop out to the chemist's. Your mother's asleep. I don't think she'll be receiving more visitors today.
Thank you, nurse.
Mum.
Sorry, Charles. You seem to have had a wasted visit.
I can come back.
Oh, I hate this room. Let's go somewhere else. I can tell you what she wanted. First, I know Mummy wanted to say how sorry she is. She was so beastly to you the last time you met.
That's really not necessary.
She's spoken of it often. She knows she was wrong about you.
Tell her I understood completely.
The other thing, of course, you've guessed. Sebastian. She wants him. I don't know if that's possible, is it?
I hear he's in a very bad way.
Oh, we cabled to the last address we had, but there was no answer. There still may be time for him to see her. I thought of you as the only hope. Rex is so busy.
Yes, I heard reports of all he's been doing organising the gasworks.
Oh, yes. He's made a lot of kudos out of the strike. Will you try and get Sebastian?
I'll try. Thank you for seeing me.
Not at all. That's what the consulate's here for. And I must say, I'm delighted someone has come to look after young Flyte at last. He's been something of a thorn in our sides here.
Oh dear. I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't say there's any harm in him, but he's an anxiety. And there's an awful fellow sponging on him. A German. A thoroughly bad hat by all accounts.
His mother is dangerously ill. That's why I'm here. She wants to make her peace with him.
You'll probably find him at home now. Goodness knows there's nowhere to go in the old town. If you like, I'll send the porter to show you the way.
British Lord's house.
Waha!
Rise or siddiq. I wait here. You go with this fellow.
I'm looking for Sebastian Flyte. This is his house, is it not?
Yes, but he isn't here. There's no one but me.
I've come from England to see him on important business. Can you tell me where I can find him?
Sebastian is not well. The Franciscan brothers took him away to the infirmary. Maybe they will let you see him, maybe not. I got to go there myself one day soon to have my foot dressed. I'll ask them then. When he is better, they will let you see him, maybe.
Mind if I sit?
No. You want a beer?
No, thanks.
You're not Sebastian's brother?
No.
Maybe you married his sister?
I'm only a friend. We were at university together.
I had a friend at the university. We studied history. My friend was cleverer than me. A little weak fellow, but so clever. Then, one day, we said, what the hell, there's no work in Germany. Germany is down the drain. And we went away, and walked, and at last we came here.
You walked here?
Yes. Then we said, there is no army in Germany, but we must be soldiers. So then we joined the Legion. My friend died of dysentery last year, campaigning in the Atlas. When he was dead, I said, What the hell? So I shot my foot. It is now full of pus, though I've done it 1 year.
Yes, that's very interesting, but my immediate concern is with Sebastian. Perhaps you could tell me about him.
Oh, he's a very good fellow, Sebastian. He is all right for me. Tangier was a stinking place. He brought me here. Nice house, nice food, nice servant. Everything is all right for me here, I reckon. I like it all right.
His mother is very ill. I have come to tell him.
She rich?
Yes.
Why don't she give him more money? Then we could live at Casablanca, maybe, in a nice flat. You know her well? You could make her give him more money.
Will you give me the name of the hospital Sebastian's in?
Sure. I will write it down for you. Tell Sebastian I'm still here and all right. I reckon he's worrying about me, maybe.
The hospital where I went next morning was a collection of bungalows between the old and the new towns. It was kept by Franciscans. A bearded, barefooted monk took me to Sebastian's bedside.
Charles, when they said a friend was here, I thought they meant Kurt.
How are you?
I was out of my mind for a day or two. I kept thinking I was back in Oxford. You went to my house.
Yes.
Did you like it?
It's not exactly Charles Street.
Is Kurt still there?
He said to tell you he's all right.
I won't ask if you liked him. No one does. It's funny. I couldn't get on without him, you know.
Julia asked me to come and find you. I'm afraid your mother's very ill.
Poor Mummy. She really was a femme fatale, wasn't she? She killed at a touch.
Julia. Found Sebastian. Stop. Unable to travel. Stop. Visiting daily in hope. Stop. Charles.
Your friend is much happier today.
Really?
He has a bottle of cognac in bed with him.
Oh.
Well, I'll leave you with him.
Thank you.
Hello, Charles. Something's happened, hasn't it?
It's your mother. I received a telegram from Julia this morning. Would you like me to go?
No. Stay, please.
Do you think you might come back to England with me?
It would be lovely. But do you think Kurt would like it?
For God's sake, you don't mean to spend your life with Kurt, do you?
I don't know. He seems to mean to spend his with me. It's all right for him, I reckon, maybe. You know, Charles, it's rather a pleasant change when all your life you've had people looking after you, to have someone to look after yourself. Only, of course, it has to be someone pretty hopeless to need looking after by me.
I was able to straighten his money affairs before I left. I saw him home from the hospital.
It was time you came back. I need you.
Do you, Kurt?
I reckon so. 'Tis not so good being alone when you're sick.
You've got your servant.
Oh, that boy's a lazy fellow. Always slipping off when I want him.
I thought you said he was good.
No, he's not good. Once, he stayed out all night and there was no one to make my coffee when I woke up. Oh, it's no good having a foot full of pus. You see?
Well, what do you want?
Cigarettes. I got them in a bag under my bed.
I'll get them. Where's his bed?
No, that's my job.
Yes, I reckon that is Sebastian's job.
So I left him with his friend in the little enclosed house at the end of an alley. There was nothing more I could do for Sebastian.
Do you consider that there is anything sinister in my brother's connection with this German?
No, it's simply a case of two waifs coming together.
And the doctors say Sebastian is killing himself with drink.
Weakening himself. He hasn't DTs or cirrhosis.
He's not insane?
Certainly not. He's found a companion he happens to like, and a place where he happens to like living.
Well, Then he must have his allowance, as you suggest. The thing is quite clear. More tea?
Thank you.
Julia says you specialise in painting architecture.
Yes.
Would you like to do some paintings of this house?
Oh, well.
I don't know any artists. 4 small oils of March's my father wants done for a record, to keep at Brideshead.
I'd like to, very much.
Good. You know it's being pulled down.
No, why?
My father's selling it. They're going to put up a block of flats here. They're keeping the name. We can't stop them, apparently.
How sad.
Well, I'm sorry, of course, but you think it good architecturally?
It's one of the most beautiful houses I know.
Can't see it. I've always thought it rather ugly. Perhaps your pictures will make me see it differently.
This was my first commission, and I had to work against time. In spite, or perhaps because of that, those 4 paintings are particular favourites of mine. And it was their success that confirmed me in what has since been my career.
Hello, Charles.
Cordelia. How you've changed.
A lot has changed in the past 18 months. May I stay here and watch?
Providing you don't talk.
I'll be as quiet as a church mouse.
I worked on, oblivious to her, until the failing sun made me put down my brushes.
It must be lovely to be able to do that.
It is. Excuse me, I'm tired.
I bet you are. Is it finished?
Practically. I must go over it again tomorrow.
You wouldn't like to take me out to dinner, would you?
I'd like to, very much. How about the Ritz Grill?
Oh, yes. If we go out from the garden, we can walk through the park. You've seen Sebastian?
Yes.
He won't come home, even now?
I've just realised that I've underestimated you. I mean, I've underestimated how much you understood of what's been going on.
Well, I love him more than anyone.
Yes.
Sad about March's, isn't it?
Terribly.
You know they're going to build a block of flats and that Rex wanted to take what he called a penthouse at the top. Isn't it like him?
Yes.
Poor Julia. That was too much for her, but he couldn't understand at all. He thought she'd like to keep up with her old home.
What's going to happen to you?
What indeed? There are all sorts of suggestions. Papa won't come back. We thought he might, but he won't.
Here we are.
They've closed the chapel at Brideshead, briding the bishop.
Have they?
Mummy's requiem was the last mass said there. It's as though from now on it's always to be Good Friday. I suppose none of this makes any sense to you, Charles, poor agnostic.
Not really, but I know it's important to you.
Suddenly there wasn't any chapel there anymore. Just an oddly decorated room. I can't tell you what it felt like. Do you know what Papa said when he became a Catholic? Mummy told me once. He said, "You have brought back my family to the faith of their ancestors." Pompous, you know, but it takes people different ways.
I never really knew your mother.
You didn't like her. I sometimes think when people wanted to hate God, they hated Mummy.
What do you mean by that?
Well, you see, she was saintly, but not a saint. No one could really hate a saint, could they? They can't really hate God, can they? I've thought about it a lot. It seems to explain poor Mummy. Do you know, this is the first time I've ever been taken out to dinner alone at a restaurant.
Oh. I trust the dinner is up to the occasion.
Oh, yes. I hope I have a vocation.
I don't know what that means.
It means you can be a nun. If you have a vocation, you can't get away from it however much you hate it. Bridie thinks he has a vocation and hasn't. I used to think Sebastian had and hated it, but I don't know now.
Oh, you'll fall in love.
Oh, pray not. I say, do you think I could have another of those scrumptious meringues?
My theme, I suppose, is memory. And these memories were always with me. For nearly 10 dead years after that evening with Cordelia, I was never as alive as I had been during the time of my friendship with Sebastian. I published 3 splendid folios: Ryder's Country Seats, Ryder's English Homes, and Ryder's Village and Provincial Architecture. But as the years passed, I began to mourn the loss of something I had known in the drawing room at Marchmain House: inspiration. I went abroad for refreshment among alien styles. I travelled through Mexico and Central America. I found cities where no road led, and mausoleums where a single agued family of Indians sheltered from the rain. There, I made the first drawings for Ryder's Latin America, and every few weeks would dispatch them to my New York agent, then set out again into the wastes.
Mr. Ryder rises like a fresh young trout to the hypodermic injection of a new culture and discloses a powerful facet in the vista of his potentialities. Did you know you disclosed a powerful facet in the vista of your potentialities?
Of course I did. Why is it so hot in here?
Open the window. By focusing the frankly traditional battery of his elegance and erudition on the maelstrom of barbarism, Mr. Ryder has at last found himself.
I don't know how New Yorkers live like this. You either keep the windows shut and suffocate, or open them to so much noise you can't hear yourself think.
Well, are you pleased?
With what?
The review.
I've pleased a critic at last. I suppose that makes 2 years of travel and hard work worthwhile. What about you?
Me?
What do you think? You haven't said, not really.
I can see they're perfectly brilliant and really rather beautiful in a sinister way, but somehow I don't feel they're quite you.
My wife's succinct summing up was quite right. Celia had married me 6 years ago at the time of my first exhibition, and had done much since then to push our interests. People said she had made me, but she herself took credit only for supplying me with a congenial background.
Don't believe you read my letters.
Some went astray. I remember distinctly your telling me that the daffodils in the orchard were a dream, that the nursery maid was a jewel, that the Regency 4 poster was a find, but frankly, I do not remember hearing that the new baby was called Caroline. Why did you call her that?
Well, after Charles, of course.
Oh.
Now that John has a companion.
Who?
Your son, darling. You haven't forgotten him, too.
For Christ's sake, why do you call him that?
It's the name he invented for himself. Don't you think it's sweet? Now that John has a companion, I think we'd better not have any more for some time, don't you?
Just as you please.
John talks of you such a lot. He prays every night for your safe return.
Oh.
She talked in this way while she undressed, with an effort to appear at ease.
Shall I put my face to bed?
It was a familiar phrase, one that I did not like. She meant, should she remove her makeup, cover herself with grease, and put her hair in a net.
Well?
No. No, not at once.
Then she knew what was wanted.
Oh, Charles, my darling. It's been such a long time.
She had neat, hygienic ways for that, too. But there were both relief and triumph in her smile of welcome.
You're awake?
Just.
What time is it?
4 o'clock.
Oh, deadly time. Light me a cigarette, would you, darling? Thanks. I don't believe you've changed at all.
No, I'm afraid not.
Do you want to change?
That's the only evidence of life.
You might change so that you didn't love me anymore.
Yeah, there is that risk.
Charles, you haven't stopped loving me.
You said yourself I haven't changed.
Well, I'm beginning to think you have. Were you at all frightened about meeting me today?
Not the least.
You didn't wonder if I should have fallen in love with someone else in the meantime?
No. Have you?
No, I haven't. Have you?
No.
Did you get my letter about Boy?
What about Boy?
His engagement. Oh, it doesn't matter now because it's all off. Mother and Father were terribly upset. She was an awful girl. I had to give her money in the end. He and John are tremendous friends now.
Boy Mulcaster was my wife's brother, and she continued to talk more and more drowsily about him and the children and life back in England, till we both fell asleep.
I'm not worrying any more, Charles.
Good.
I was terribly afraid that the 2 years might have made a difference. Now I know we can start again exactly where we left off.
When?
Hmm?
When we left off what?
When you went away, of course.
You're not thinking of something else? A little time before I went?
Oh, Charles, that's old history. That was nothing. It was never anything. It's all over and forgotten.
So, we're back as we were the day I went abroad, is that it?
Charles, why must you be like this?
Like what?
Raking over the past.
Just trying to get things straight, but now I know it's all over and forgotten. Well, that's fine, isn't it?
You can be a bastard. Did you know that? An unmitigated bastard.
So we started that day exactly where we left off 2 years before, with my wife in tears. Celia's softness and English reticence, in short, her peculiar charm, made her popular among the Americans, and our cabin on the day of departure was full of cellophane packages.
My God, look at all this stuff.
Toys for the children. From the Schwartzes.
How do you know all these people?
Did you see the passenger list?
No.
Such a lot of friends. It's going to be a lovely trip. Let's have a cocktail party this evening. Julia? This is Celia. Celia Ryder. It's lovely to find you on board. What have you been up to? Well, why don't you come and have a cocktail this evening and tell me all about it? Well, do try. Say about 7:30. See you then. Bye.
Julia who?
Mottram. Haven't seen her for years, not since our wedding. Mary, it's Celia. Celia Ryder.
I'm going for a walk.
I've got Charles back from the wilds at last. And we're having a little cocktail party this evening to celebrate. There's so many friends on board. Did you know the Zook Rose? Yes. Larry and Esther are
Can I get you anything, sir?
Whiskey and soda, not iced.
I'm sorry, sir. All the soda is iced.
Is the water iced, too?
Oh, yes, sir.
It doesn't matter.
Charles?
Julia, have you been sitting here all along?
I heard you were here. Celia telephoned me.
Yes, I know. What are you doing?
Oh, waiting. My maid's unpacking. She's been so disagreeable ever since we left England. She's complaining now about my cabin.
Your whiskey, sir.
Thank you.
And there is a jug of hot water and another of iced. I thought you might prefer to mix it to the temperature you like.
Oh. Yes, right. Very considerate. Probably about that.
I'll remember that's how you take it, sir. And can I get anything for you, madam?
I would like a hot chocolate, please.
Certainly, madam.
Honestly, did you see that? The hot water was practically boiling.
I never see you now.
Well, I have been away for a couple of years.
Yes, but I never seem to see anyone I like. I don't know why.
What have you been doing in America?
Don't you know?
As I said, I've been away.
Oh, I'll tell you about it sometime. I've been a mug. I thought I was in love with someone, but it didn't turn out that way. Was your trip terribly exciting?
It had its moments.
Tell me some.
I began to talk of my time in the jungle. But in this mood of old friendship, the tale faltered and came to an end abruptly.
I long to see the paintings.
Oh, Celia wanted me to unpack some and stick them round the cabin for her cocktail party, but I couldn't do that.
No.
Your chocolate, madam.
Thank you. Is Celia as pretty as ever? I always thought she had the most delicious looks of any girl of my year.
She hasn't changed.
You have, Charles. So lean and grim.
Oh, dear.
Not at all the pretty boy Sebastian brought home with him. Harder, too.
And you're softer.
Yes, I think so. And very patient now.
Sadder, too.
Oh, yes. Much sadder.
Oh, I've had to do everything. How does it look?
What on earth is that?
Oh, the Ice Swan. It's a gift from the chief purser.
Another new friend?
He's been a brick helping me arrange things, so I invited him to the party. The swan's a token of his appreciation. It's full of caviar. You must get dressed at once. Where have you been all this time?
Talking to Julia Mottram.
Oh, do you know her?
Well, I wouldn't say we were intimate friends, exactly.
Oh, of course. You're a friend of the Dipso brother. Goodness, her glamour.
She admires your looks, too.
She used to be a girlfriend of Boy's.
Surely not.
Oh, he always said so.
Your swan's dripping from the beak.
Is it? Oh, dear. I do hope it'll last.
Have you considered how your guests are going to eat the caviar?
I have. It's insoluble. But there are all these little tidbits, and anyway, people always find ways of eating things at parties. Do you remember how we once ate potted shrimps with a paper knife?
Did we?
Darling, it was the night you popped the question.
As I remember, you popped.
Well, the night we got engaged. But you haven't said how you like the arrangements.
It's a cinema actor's dream.
Oh, cinema actors, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. It's occurred to me that with your interest in architecture, you could be designing scenery for the films.
Could I?
Don't dismiss the idea out of hand. Not till you've talked to Mr. Cram.
Who's Mr. Cram?
He's something big in Hollywood, and I've invited him this evening. Look, do get dressed, Charles. The guests will start arriving any time.
Very well.
Oh, and here's Father Christmas himself. Oh, we're just in raptures over your swan. Charles, this is our dear, generous benefactor.
How do you do?
It's a great pleasure. The toast will be along in a minute. They're keeping it hot.
Toast? Did you hear that, Charles? Toast?
Are we to have a good crossing?
Well, I think we can expect a storm.
Oh, how can you be so beastly?
Swans I can manage, but unfortunately the ocean is a law unto itself.
But it wouldn't make us sick.
I'm always sick in storms, ever since I was a boy.
I don't believe it, do you, Charles? He's just being sadistic.
Okay.
Now, come over here. There's something I want to show you. So you're Charles. I feel I know you through and through. Celia's talked so much about you.
When will Julia come? Why am I talking like this to you, Mrs. Stuyvesant Oglander, and not her?
Charles, this is Mr. Cram of Interastral Films, if you'll excuse me.
So, you are Mr. Charles Ryder.
Yes.
Well. The purser here says we're heading for dirty weather. What do you know about that?
Far less than the purser.
Pardon me, Mr. Ryder, I don't quite get you.
I mean, I know less than the purser.
Is that so? Well. I've enjoyed our little talk very much. I hope that it'll be the first of many.
Oh. Yes, I do hope so.
Well, I had a ball. I don't know about... Well, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
It was a lovely party, wasn't it?
Julia never came.
No, she telephoned. I couldn't hear what she said. There was such a noise going on. Something about a dress. Did you hate it very much?
No.
You behaved beautifully and looked so distinguished. Did you say anything to Mr. Cram about working in Hollywood?
Of course not.
Oh, Charles, you are a worry to me. It's not enough just to stand about looking distinguished and a martyr for art. Let's go to dinner.
I'm miserable about the party. My beastly maid disappeared with every dress I have. She only turned up half an hour ago. She'd been playing ping-pong.
Not to worry. You didn't miss much.
We were a gruesome circle. Even my wife's high social spirit faltered. The diamonds flashed in Julia's hair and on her fingers, but her hands were nervously rolling little balls of crumb, and her starry head drooped in despair. My mind reeled. I felt like Lear on the heath. I summoned cataracts and hurricanos. And as if by conjury, the call was immediately answered. The gale, which had been mounting over us unheard and unseen, had now veered and fallen full on our bows.
Oh, dear. Either I'm a little drunk or it's getting rough.
In the third of 4 episodes of Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, adapted for radio by Jeremy Front, Charles Ryder was played by Ben Miles. Sebastian was Jamie Bamber. Mr. Ryder, Benjamin Whitrow. Lady Marchmain, Eleanor Brom. Julia, Anne-Marie Duff. And Brideshead, Toby Jones. Rex Mottram was William Hope. Anthony Blanche, Geoffrey Stretfield. Mr. Samgrass, Thomas Arnold. And Boy Mulcaster, Tom Smith. Kurt was Carl Prekop. Celia, Eve Best. And Cordelia, Abby Ford. Wilcox was Andrew Wincott. The monk, Martin Hyder. The waiter, Richard Firth. And the nurse, Gemma Churchill. The music was composed by Neil Brand. The director was Marion Nancaro. Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, adapted for radio by Jeremy Front, with Ben Miles as Charles, Jamie Bamber as Sebastian, and Edward Petherbridge as Lord Marchmain. Episode 4. All night, between dreaming and waking, I thought of Julia. In my brief dreams, she took on 100 fantastic, terrible, and obscene forms. But in my waking thoughts, she returned with her sad, starry head, just as I had seen her that evening at dinner. I slept for an hour or two, then awoke clear-headed, with a joyous sense of anticipation.
Your breakfast, sir?
Splendid.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff in the sitting room for the lady. Flowers and parcels sent up from the shop. Shall I leave them for the time being?
Yes. Could you arrange for a barber to be sent up to shave me?
Very well, sir.
Flowers, eh? Kedgeree. I'd better get that. Yes, sir. Hello?
What a deplorable thing to do, Charles. How unlike you.
Don't you like them?
What can I do with roses on a day like this?
Smell them.
They've absolutely no smell at all.
What have you had for breakfast?
Muscat grapes and cantaloupe.
When shall I see you?
Before lunch. I'm busy till then with a masseuse. What is it about being on a boat that makes everyone behave like a film star? And how about these very embarrassing roses?
Put them in a vase.
Right, sir. Head back.
What a life of pleasure. Roses, half an hour with a female pugilist, and now champagne.
I do wish you wouldn't go on about the roses. It wasn't my idea in the first place. Someone sent them to see you.
Oh, well, that's quite different. It lets you out completely. Actually, I'm glad about the roses, but they were a shock. They made me think we were starting the day on the wrong foot.
Well, here's to the right foot.
The right foot.
All that day, Julia and I spent together, talking, scarcely moving, held in our chairs by the swell of the sea. We lunched together the next day, parted briefly during the afternoon, and met once again for dinner, and she told me of her life with Rex.
Oh, he's never been unkind to me intentionally. He couldn't imagine why it hurt me to find 2 months after we came back from our honeymoon that he was still keeping up with Brenda Champion.
I was glad when I found Celia was unfaithful. I felt it was all right for me to dislike her.
Do you? I'm glad. I don't like her either. Why did you marry her?
Physical attraction, ambition. Everyone agrees she's the ideal wife for a painter.
Was that all?
Loneliness. Missing Sebastian.
You loved him, didn't you?
Oh, yes. He was the forerunner.
He's disappeared completely. Cordelia's in Spain with an ambulance. Bridie leads his own extraordinary life.
Bridie.
He wanted to shut Brideshead after Mummy died, but Papa wouldn't have it. So Rex and I live there now. And Bridie has 2 rooms up in the dome next to Nanny Hawkins.
What happened between you and Rex?
I wasn't at all the article he'd bargained for. Last year, when I thought I was going to have a child, I decided to have it brought up a Catholic. I hadn't thought of religion before, I haven't since. But just at that time, when I was waiting for the birth, I thought, well, that's one thing I can give her. It doesn't seem to have done me much good, but my child can have it. In the end, I couldn't even give her that. I couldn't even give her life.
I'm sorry.
I never saw her. I was too ill to know what was going on. For a long time, until now, I didn't want to speak about her. She was a daughter, so Rex didn't mind so much her being dead.
Julia.
I've been punished a little for marrying Rex.
You don't really believe that.
I can't get all that sort of thing out of my mind quite. Death, judgment, heaven, hell, Nanny Hawkins and the catechism. And yet I wanted my child to have it. Now I suppose I'll be punished for what I've just done. Perhaps that's why you and I are here together like this. Part of a plan. Ooh. Time for bed, I think. Well, good night.
It doesn't have to be.
No, Charles, not yet. Perhaps never. I don't know. I don't know if I want love.
Love? I'm not asking for love.
Yes, Charles, you are. Good night.
Next day, the wind had again dropped. In the evening, the clouds dispersed, and the sun suddenly broke into the lounge where we sat. Julia rose and led me up to the boat deck.
Sunset. The end of our day.
Turn about the deck? Oh, here, take me off.
Yes, Charles. Now.
It was no time for the sweets of luxury. They would come in their season. Now, on the rough water, there was a formality to be observed, no more.
Charles! Charles, I feel so well. I'm afraid I've been a worthless wife to you the last 2 days. What have you been up to? Have you been behaving? You haven't been picking up sirens.
There was scarcely a woman about. I spent most of my time with Julia.
Oh, good. Oh, I always wanted to bring you two together. She's one of my friends I knew you'd like. I expect you were a godsend to her.
I don't know about that.
She's had rather a gloomy time lately. I'll ask her to lunch today with Miles and Janet in our sitting room.
I did not speak to Julia alone until we met for a minute next day, while everyone else crowded to gaze at the green coastline of Devon.
What are your plans?
London for a bit.
Celia's going straight home. She wants to see the children.
You too?
No.
In London, then?
Oh, but Charles, you must come. You haven't seen Caroline.
Will she change much in a week or two?
Darling, she changes every day.
And what's the point of seeing her now? I'm sorry, but I must get the pictures unpacked and see how they've travelled. I need to fix up the exhibition right away. I'm sorry, Celia.
It's very disappointing.
You look preoccupied.
Not really.
Don't worry. I'm sure it'll be a tremendous success.
Well, if Celia's got anything to do with it. Frankly, I'm sick of the pictures already.
She sent me a card with "Bring Everyone" written across it in green ink. Do you want me to come?
I'd much rather you didn't.
Well, here we are.
Thanks.
Charles! There you are. Whose car was that?
Julia's.
Julia's?
She spotted me in Hay Hill and picked me up.
Oh, why didn't you bring her in?
She said something about a dress fitting.
Oh. Well, oddly enough, I've just been talking about Brideshead to a funny little man who seemed to know us very well. A Mr. Sam Grass.
Oh, God. Who invited him?
Apparently he's one of Lord Copper's middle-aged young men on the Daily Beast.
He's a crook.
That stuck out a mile. He's been talking all about what he calls the Brideshead set. Apparently Rex Mottram has made the place a nest of party mutiny. What would Theresa Marchmain have thought?
I'm going there tonight.
Oh, not tonight, Charles. You can't go there tonight. Well, Daddy will think it's so odd. And Boy's home for Sunday. And you haven't seen the new studio. Oh, you can't go tonight. Did they ask me?
Of course, but I knew you wouldn't be able to come.
Well, I can't now. I could have if you'd let me know earlier. I do think you're beastly.
If you'd asked me to guess, Ryder's is the last name would have occurred to me. They're so virile, so passionate.
It had not been thus at my last exhibition in these same rooms. That same critic had previously stood before a painfully laboured canvas and said,
So facile.
I remembered the exhibition too for another reason. It was the week I detected my wife in adultery. But that day, in this gallery, I suddenly realized that she was powerless to hurt me anymore. I was a free man.
No, I have not brought a card of invitation. I have not come to a social function. I have come to see the pictures.
Antoine, come in.
My dear, there is a gorgon here who thinks I am gate crashing.
Thank you, it's quite all right. This gentleman is an old friend.
So sorry. I only arrived in London yesterday and heard quite by chance at luncheon that you were having an exhibition. So, of course, I dashed impetuously to the shrine to pay homage. Have I changed? Would you recognize me?
I would, and did.
Where are the pictures?
Charles?
Oh, do you know Anthony? Anthony Blanche, my wife Celia?
Of course, the exquisite Celia, sister to my old chum, Boy Mulcaster. Mwah. I can see you wish to speak privately to your spouse. Then I shall explain your pictures to him.
What an extraordinary suit. Darling, I must go. It's been a terrific success, hasn't it?
I think so.
I'll think of something to tell them at home. But I wish it hadn't got to happen quite this way. Bye-bye, Charles.
Where, my dear Charles, did you find this sumptuous greenery? The corner of a hothouse at Trent or Turing?
Are they as bad as that?
My dear, let us not expose your little imposture before these good, plain people. Let us not spoil their innocent pleasure. Let us go, before we upset the connoisseurs.
I can't go too far afield tonight. I have a train to catch.
That's all right. I know of a louche little bar quite near here. We will take our drinks and sit in the corner. You must remember, my dear, that here you are just as conspicuous and, may I say, abnormal, my dear, as I should be in Brats.
Would your friend care to rumble?
No, Tom, he would not. And I'm not going to give you a drink. Not yet, anyway.
Be like that.
That's a very impudent youth. A regular little gold digger, my dear. Chin-chin.
Oh, cheers. Well, what have you been up to all these years?
My dear, it's what you have been up to that we're here to talk about. I've been watching you.
Have you?
To be frank, dear Charles, I despaired of you. I am a degenerate old Didago, I said, and Charles, I speak of your art, my dear. Charles is a dean's daughter in flowered muslin. Imagine, then, my excitement at luncheon today. Everyone was talking about you, how you had broken away, my dear, gone to the tropics, become a Gauguin, a Rimbaud. Or you can imagine how my old heart leapt. Poor Celia, they said, after all she's done for him, he owes everything to her. It's too bad. And with Julia, they said, after the way she behaved in America, just as she was going back to Rex.
So, my private life is common knowledge and tittle-tattle.
I'm afraid so, my dear. But I wanted to hear about the pictures. Oh, the pictures, they said. They're most peculiar. Not at all what he usually does. Quite barbaric. Downright unhealthy. I wanted to dash out of the house and leap in a taxi and say, take me to Charles's unhealthy pictures. I was all agog. And what did I find?
What did you find?
I found, my dear, a very naughty and very successful practical joke. It was charm again. Playing tigers.
You're quite right.
Of course I'm right. I was right years ago. More years, I'm happy to say, than either of his shows. But I was right when I warned you.
Warned me?
I took you out to dinner to warn you of charm, and I warned you expressly and in great detail of the Flyte family. charm is the great English blight. It spots and kills anything it touches. It kills love. It kills art. And I greatly fear, my dear Charles, it has killed you.
Poor Charles. You look worn out.
It's been a day of nightmare, ending up with half an hour's well-reasoned abuse of my pictures in a pansy bar. I think Celia knows about us.
Well, she had to know sometime.
Everyone seems to know. My pansy friend had not been in London 24 hours before he'd heard.
Damn everybody.
Two Christmases had passed, and now on a summer's afternoon, Julia and I sat by the fountain.
Do you remember the storm?
How could I not?
The bronze doors banging.
The roses in cellophane.
Oh, and do you remember how the sun came out on our last evening, just as it has done today? How many days have there been since then when we haven't seen each other? 100, do you think?
Not so many.
2 Christmases.
And the 3 days of good taste before I followed you to Capri.
Our first summer. I went back to the villa and said, Papa, who do you think has arrived at the hotel? And he said, Charles Ryder, I suppose. He seems to have a penchant for my children. 100 days wasted out of our 2 years and a bit. Not a day's coldness or mistrust. Or disappointment.
Never that.
How many more? Another 100?
Lifetime.
I want to marry you, Charles.
One day. Why now?
War. This year, next year, sometime soon. I want a day or two with you of real peace.
Isn't this peace?
Marriage isn't a thing we can take when the impulse moves us. There must be a divorce. 2 divorces. We must make plans.
Plans, divorce, war, or an evening like this.
Sometimes I feel the past and the future pressing so hard on either side that there's no room for the present at all.
Hello. It's late for 3.
Lord Brideshead arrived half an hour ago from London, my lady.
Bridie!
He sent a message, would you please not wait dinner for him, as he may be a little late.
What Brideshead did in London was a matter for speculation between us. All that he was known with certainty to have done was to form a collection of matchboxes.
If I was Rex, I should want to live in my constituency.
He says it saves 4 days' work a week not to.
I'm sorry he's not here. I have a little announcement to make.
Bridie, don't be so mysterious. Out with it.
I'm engaged to be married. I hope you're pleased.
Bridie! How very exciting.
Yes, congratulations. Who are you engaged to?
Oh, no one you know.
Is she pretty?
I don't think you'd exactly call her pretty. Comely is the word I think of in her connection. She's a big woman.
Fat?
No, big. She's called Mrs. Muspratt. Her Christian name is Beryl.
Beryl?
I have known her for a long time, but until now she had a husband. Now she is a widow. Why do you laugh?
Oh, I'm sorry, it isn't the least funny. It's just so unexpected. Is she about your own age?
Just about, I believe.
Oh.
She has 3 children. She is not at all well off.
But, Bridie, where did you find her?
Her late husband, Admiral Ampleforth, collected matchboxes.
You're not marrying her for her matchboxes.
No, no. The whole collection was left to the Falmouth Town Library.
Oh, does Papa know?
I had a letter from him this morning, giving me his approval. He has been urging me to marry for some time.
Well, I think this is very good news, Bridie.
Oh, yes. Yes, congratulations.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I think I'm very fortunate.
But when are we going to meet her? Bridie, you sly, smug old brute. Why haven't you brought her here?
I couldn't do that.
Why? I'm dying to meet her. Let's ring her up now and invite her.
She has children. Besides, you are peculiar, aren't you?
What can you mean?
Beryl is a woman of strict Catholic principle, fortified by the prejudices of the middle class. It is a matter of indifference whether you choose to live with Rex, or Charles, or both. I have always avoided inquiry into the details of your ménage. But in no case would Beryl consent to be your guest.
Oh, pompous ass!
Oh, dear.
How dare he speak to you like that?
No. He's quite right. They know all about it, Bridie and his widow. One little, flat, deadly word that covers a lifetime. Sin.
Don't be silly, Julia. Bride is a buffoon. He knows nothing about us.
Living in sin. Poor Julia, they say, she can't go out. She's got to take care of her sin.
No, you don't believe that.
A word from so long ago. Cordelia and me with the catechism in Mummy's room before luncheon on Sundays. Mummy carrying my sin with her to church, bowed under it in a black lace veil, dying, with my sin eating at her more cruelly than her own deadly illness.
Julia.
Mummy dying with it, Christ dying with it, nailed hand and foot, hanging over the bed in the night nursery, hanging in the dark church. Nameless and dead, like the baby they wrapped up and took away before I had seen her. Oh, Charles. Well, Bridie is a one for bombshells, isn't he?
Was it nice out? If I'd known you were going out, I'd have come too.
Rather cold.
I hope it's not going to be inconvenient for Rex moving out of here. In his letter, Papa proposed making over the whole estate right away.
I should think Rex will be sorry to go.
Oh, he'll find another bargain somewhere.
Later, when Brideshead had gone upstairs, Julia and I went outside again. The moon was high as we walked around the house.
You know, I won't believe that great spout of tears came just from a few words of Bridie's. You must have been thinking about it before.
Oh, hardly at all. Now and then. Well, more lately, with the last trump so near.
Of course, it's a thing psychologists could explain. The feelings of guilt from the nonsense you were taught in the nursery. You do know at heart that it's all bosh, don't you?
How I wish it was.
Sebastian once said almost the same thing to me.
He's gone back to the church, you know. Of course, he never left it as definitely as I did. I've gone too far. There's no turning back now. I know that. If that's what you mean by thinking it all bosh. All I can hope to do is put my life in some sort of order in a human way, before all human order comes to an end. That's why I want to marry you. I should like to have a child. That's one thing I can do.
We continued walking and found ourselves once again standing by the fountain.
It's like the setting for a comedy. Scene, a baroque fountain in a nobleman's grounds. Act 1, sunset. Act 2, dusk. Act 3, moonlight.
Comedy?
Drama. Tragedy. Farce, what you will. This is the reconciliation scene.
Was there a quarrel?
Estrangement and misunderstanding in Act 2.
Oh, don't talk in that damned bounderish way. Why must you see everything second-hand? Why must this be a play?
It's a way I have.
I hate it.
Ow. All right. Go on, hit me again if it makes you feel better. Well?
Did it hurt?
Yes.
Your poor face. Will there be a mark tomorrow?
Yes, I expect so.
Charles, am I going crazy?
No.
What's happened tonight?
I saw her to bed. Her blue lids fell over her eyes. Her pale lips moved on the pillow. But whether to wish me good night or to murmur a prayer, I did not know.
And of course Celia will have custody of the children.
Of course.
Then what about the old rectory? I don't imagine you'll want to settle down with Julia bang at our gates.
No.
The children look on it as their home, you know. Celia's chum has got no place of his own till his uncle dies.
He can have the old rectory.
Right. Good.
Do you want another whiskey, boy?
Oh, yes. Thanks. Now, with regard to money, Celia and... Do you know Robin, by the way?
Oh, vaguely. A half-baked, pimply youth, as I remember him.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. Anyway, he and Celia naturally don't want to accept anything for themselves, but there's the question of the children's education.
Well, that'll be all right. I'll see the lawyers about it.
Well, I think that's everything. Cheers.
Cheers.
You'll find it very disturbing, you know, starting off again. How old are you?
34.
34? That's no age to be starting. You ought to be settling down. You made any plans?
Yes, I'm marrying again as soon as the divorce is through.
Well, I call that a lot of nonsense. To get rid of one wife and take up with another immediately is beyond all reason. Celia was always perfectly civil to me.
She is perfectly civil.
I had quite a liking for her, in a way. If you couldn't be happy with her, why on earth should you expect to be happy with anyone else? Take my advice, dear boy. Give up the whole idea.
I hope I'm a man of the world, Charles. I've had my own fish to fry, too, but a divorce is a different thing altogether. I've never known a divorce do any good.
That's your affair and Julia's.
Oh, Julia's set on it. What I hoped was you might be able to talk her round. But there's too much going on altogether at the moment, what with Bridie wanting me to clear out of the house. If she insists on a divorce, I suppose she must have it, but she couldn't have chosen a worse time. Tell her to hang on a bit, Charles. There's a good fellow.
This morning, I had another talk with the German Chancellor, Herr Hitler. And here is the paper which bears his name upon it as well as mine.
One afternoon in November, Julia and I stood at a window in the drawing room, watching the wind at work, stripping the lime trees.
A telephone message, my lady, from Lady Cordelia.
Cordelia? Where is she?
In London, my lady.
Wilcox, how lovely. Is she coming home?
She was just starting for the station. She'll be here after dinner.
Thank you, Wilcox.
My lady.
Do you know, I haven't seen her for 12 years. Not since the evening we dined together at the Ritz.
She's had an odd life. First the convent, then when that was no good, the war in Spain. I've not seen her since then. The other girls who went over with the ambulance came back when the war was over, but she stayed on. She's grown up quite plain, you know.
Does she know about us?
Yes. She wrote me a sweet letter.
It hurt to think of Cordelia growing up quite plain. It was odd, I thought, how the same ingredients, differently dispensed, could produce Brideshead, Sebastian, Julia, and her. She looked more than her 26 years, and hard living had roughened her.
Are you here to stay?
Yes. My job's over in Spain, but it looks as though there'll be plenty of the same sort of work over here soon.
It does rather look that way.
I saw Sebastian last month.
Did you?
Was he well?
Not very. That's why I went. I wanted him to come home with me, but he wouldn't. He's got a beard now, and he's very religious. I'll tell you more tomorrow. It's a long story. Is it too late to see Nanny?
Oh, no. She sits up till all hours with her wireless.
I'll go and say hello.
Poor Sebastian. Do you ever worry you might forget him?
Never. He was the forerunner. I had not forgotten Sebastian. He was with me daily in Julia. Or rather, it was Julia I had known in him in those distant Arcadian days. How could I forget him?
A journalist in Burgos told me. A down-and-out called Flyte, who people said was an English lord, had been taken in by the fathers at the monastery near Carthage.
You wish to see me, my son?
Yes, Father. I'd like to put myself at your service.
I see. And what form will this service take?
Missionary work, Father. I'll go anywhere you choose to send me. The further the better. Perhaps I could bring the word of our Lord to the cannibals.
We have no cannibals in our missions.
Pygmies, then? Pygmies would do, or just a primitive village somewhere on a river. Or lepers. Lepers would do best of anything.
We have plenty of lepers, but they live in our settlements with doctors and nuns.
I see. Perhaps lepers are not what I want. Is there not a small church by a river? Somewhere I could look after when the priest is away?
There are such churches.
Good.
Tell me about yourself.
Oh. I'm nothing.
You are not a young man.
I am younger than I look.
Forgive me, but you do not seem strong to me. Let me tell you about the training of our novices.
No, I don't want to be trained. I don't want to do things that need training.
My friend, you need a missionary for yourself.
Yes.
Sebastian kept going back 2 or 3 times a week, always drunk, until the superior gave orders he should be kept out. Then one day they found him lying outside the main gate, unconscious. He'd lain there all night. At first they thought he was merely drunk again. Then they realised he was very ill. So they put him in the infirmary, which is where I found him. He looked terrible, but he still had his old sweet manner. Most of what he said was about his German friend. He sounds gruesome.
Kurt? Yes, he was.
They went to Greece, but Kurt got into a brawl with an official. Anyway, the Greeks didn't want him there and shipped him home to Germany, where he was put into a concentration camp. Then one day Sebastian learned he had hanged himself. So he went back to Morocco.
Have you told Julia all this?
Well, the substance of it, not quite as I told you. She never loved him, you know, as we do.
Poor Sebastian. It's too pitiful. How will it end?
Everyone will know about his drinking, and he'll disappear for 2 or 3 days every month or so, and they'll all nod and smile, and then he'll come back shamefaced and be more devout for a day or 2. Then one morning he'll be picked up at the gate, dying, and show by a mere flicker of the eyelid that he is conscious when they give him the last sacraments.
It's not what one would have foretold all those years ago in Oxford.
It's not such a bad way of getting through one's life.
I suppose he doesn't suffer.
Oh, yes, I think he does. But no one can truly become holy without suffering. And he's in a very beautiful place by the sea.
Oh. You knew I wouldn't understand.
You and Julia. Come on, let's go back to the house. When you met me last night, did you think, poor Cordelia, such an engaging child, grown up a plain and pious spinster full of good works? Did you think thwarted?
Yes, I did.
It's funny. That's exactly the word I thought of for you and Julia when I arrived. Thwarted passion.
My divorce case was due to be heard at the same time as Brideshead was to be married. Lord Marchmain, with a taste for the dramatically inopportune, which was plainly the prototype of his elder sons, declared his intention, in view of the international situation, of returning to England.
Welcome home, Papa.
Thank you, Julia. Must I be presented to the entire staff?
Of course not. A wave will do.
Cara?
I'm here.
Take my arm. I'd like to sit down. I'd forgotten how cold it is in England. Quite bowled me over.
Can I get you anything?
Nothing, thank you. Cara, where are those confounded pills?
Alex, the doctor said not more than 3 times a day.
Damn the doctor. I feel quite bowled over.
Very well. Here you are.
I'm afraid I'm not at all the thing today. The journey's taken it out of me. Ought to have waited a night at Dover. Wilcox, what rooms have you prepared for me?
Your old ones, my lord.
Won't do. Not till I'm fit again. Too many stairs. Must be on the ground floor. Blender, get a bed made up for me downstairs.
Very good, my lord. Which room shall we put it in?
The Chinese drawing room. And Wilcox, the Queen's bed.
The Chinese drawing room, my lord. The Queen's bed.
Yes, yes. I may be spending some time there in the next few weeks.
Lord Marchmain sat by the fire watching the bustle, while we stood in a half-circle and talked to him.
I dare say I shall not be really fit again until summer comes. I look to you four to amuse me.
Oh, we'll do our best. Shall I call for some tea? Would you, darling?
Brideshead and his wife dined with me in Rome. Since we are all members of the family, I can speak without reserve. I found her deplorable. Her former consort, I understand, was a seafaring man.
An Admiral Ampleforth, I believe.
Oh. My son, at the ripe old age of 38, with a very free choice among the women of England, can have settled on, I suppose I must call her so, Beryl. Tell me the circumstances of Brideshead's courtship.
Well, I believe Bridie and Beryl's late husband shared a hobby in common.
A hobby? And what form did this hobby take?
Matchboxes.
Matchboxes?
Brideshead has an extensive collection.
Matchboxes? I think she's past childbearing.
tea.
In Italy, no one believes there will be a war. They think it will all be arranged. I suppose, Julia, you have no longer any access to political information?
Oh, I'm afraid not.
Oh, pity. Cara here is, fortunately, a British subject by marriage. Not a thing she customarily mentions, but it may prove valuable. She is legally Mrs. Hicks, are you not, my dear?
Yes.
We know little of Hicks, but we shall be grateful to him, nonetheless, if it comes to war. And you will no doubt become an official war artist.
No, as a matter of fact, I'm negotiating now for a commission in the Special Reserve.
Oh, but you should be an artist. I had one with my squadron during the last war for weeks, until we went up to the line.
Your rooms are ready, if you'd care to see them, my lord.
Oh, yes. Well, we must all see them.
Oh, yes.
Now, if you will all leave me, I will go to bed. We will meet later. It looks very well. Does it not, Charles? Very well. You might paint it, eh? Call it the deathbed.
He has come home to die.
Poor Daddy.
His sickness is up and down. One day he's strong and lively, and then he's ready for death. Then he's down and afraid. The doctors in Rome gave him less than a year. There's someone coming from London, I think, tomorrow, who will tell us more.
What is it?
His heart. Some long word. He's dying of a long word.
It was natural, with her hospital experience, that Cordelia should take charge of her father. When the doctor came the next day, they gave their instructions to her, instinctively.
How long will it be, Doctor?
Lady Cordelia, there are men walking about in hearty old age whom their doctors gave a week to live. I have learned one thing in medicine. Never prophesy.
I've never been much moved by family piety until now. But I am, frankly, appalled by the prospect of Beryl taking what was once my mother's place in this house. I will not disguise from you that I have taken a dislike to Beryl.
That has become apparent, Daddy.
Is she really all that bad?
I don't think she'll be quite in her proper element here, do you? Who shall I leave it to? The entail ended with me, you know. Sebastian, alas, is out of the question. Who wants it? Chris? You like it, Cara?
Please, Alex.
No, of course you wouldn't. Cordelia? I think I shall leave it to Julia and Charles.
Of course not, Papa. It's Bridie's.
And Beryl. I have rather a fancy for the idea of installing Julia here. So beautiful this evening, my dear. So beautiful always. Much more suitable.
Shortly after this, he sent to London for his solicitor, but on the day he came, Lord Marchmain was suffering from an attack and would not see him.
Do you think he really means to leave it to us?
Yes, I think he does.
But it's monstrous for Bridie.
Is it? I don't think he cares much for the place. I do, you know.
I know, but...
He and Beryl would be much more content in some little house somewhere.
You mean to accept it?
Certainly. It's Papa's to leave as he likes. I think you and I could be very happy here.
The weeks of illness wore on. At Easter, Brideshead was called.
I've just been in to see Papa. He must see a priest.
Do you think he would?
I shall see that he does. I'll take Father Mackay in to him tomorrow, if you'll excuse me. There are one or two things I wish to speak to Wilcox about.
Julia.
I know what you're going to say.
Can we stop this tomfoolery?
Why should we? Anyway, what harm can it do?
Who knows?
Oh, Charles, I see great church trouble ahead.
Can't they even let him die in peace?
They mean something so different by peace.
It might alarm him, of course. On the other hand, I have known cases where it has had a wonderfully soothing effect on the patient.
But this patient has turned his back on religion.
Yes. Really, I think it's a thing for Lord Brideshead to decide. Lord Marchmain is very weak today, but tomorrow he may be quite strong again.
Very well. Thank you, Doctor.
Not at all.
Well, he wasn't much help.
Help? I really can't see why you've taken it so much to heart that my father shall not have the last sacraments.
Because it's such a lot of witchcraft and hypocrisy.
It's been going on for nearly 2,000 years. I don't know why you should suddenly get into a rage now. What's it got to do with you or me, whether my father sees his parish priest?
The German Chancellor, Herr Hitler, is said to be suffering
Sorry
from...
to disturb you. Father, I've brought Father Mackay to see you.
Good morning, Lord Marchmain.
Father Mackay, I'm afraid you have been brought here under a misapprehension. I am not in extremis, and I have not been a member of your church for 25 years.
Bridie and I just thought you might...
Brideshead, show Father Mackay the way out.
I carried the news to Julia. The mumbo-jumbo was off. I felt triumphant. Truth had prevailed. But I was wrong in thinking that the religious controversy was quashed.
I presume he meant what he said. He meant that he had not been accustomed regularly to receive the sacraments, and since he was not at the moment dying, he did not mean to change his ways yet.
That's simply a quibble.
Why do people always think that one is quibbling when one tries to be precise?
I wish someone would explain to me quite what you think this priest can do. I mean, do you simply want to arrange it so that your father can have a Christian burial? Or do you want to keep him out of hell? I only want to be told.
Very well. Let's get this clear. In order to be reconciled, he must be contrite and wish to be reconciled. He has to make an act of will.
Brideshead explained it all to me, at some length. Later, when we were alone, Julia said,
I wish you wouldn't start these religious arguments.
I didn't start
You don't
it.
convince anyone else, and you really don't convince yourself.
I only want to know what these people believe. They say it's all based on logic.
Well, if you'd let Bridie finish, he would have made it all quite logical.
There were 4 of you. Cara didn't know the first thing about it. You knew a bit and didn't believe a word. Cordelia knew about as much and believed it madly. Only poor Bridie knew and believed, and I thought he made a pretty poor show when it came to explaining.
Oh, Charles, don't rant. I'll begin to think you're getting doubts yourself.
The weeks passed, and Lord Marchmain lived on. In June, my divorce was made absolute, and my former wife married for the second time. Julia would be free in September, but the nearer our marriage got, the more wistfully she spoke of it. News that the Germans have bombed Częstochowa will have caused profound indignation among Poles all over the world.
Czechs make good coachmen.
Do they?
Nothing else.
Shall I go on?
Oh, please do. If it's not boring you.
Częstochowa is the Lourdes of Poland. It is a centre of pilgrimage for Roman Catholic Poles, many of whom...
Shall I take over here?
I'll just finish this piece in the paper, then.
Cordelia, what became of the chapel?
They locked it up, Papa, when Mummy died.
It was hers. I gave it to her. We've always been builders in our family. It was the last of the new house to come. The last to go.
While Cordelia was away in London for a day, Lord Marchmain became suddenly worse.
Poor Alex. He looks so terribly weak.
He may recover from the present attack. The only thing is not to disturb him. The least shock will be fatal.
Oh, I'm going for Father Mackay. Will you telegraph Bridie and Cordelia, Charles?
We must stop this nonsense.
My business is with the body.
But you said just now any shock would kill him. What could be worse for a man who fears death, as he does, than to have a priest brought to him, a priest he turned out when he had the strength?
I think it may kill him.
Then will you forbid it?
I've no authority to forbid anything. I can only give my opinion.
Good afternoon.
Oh, I wish Bridie and Cordelia were here.
Dr. Grant, would you repeat what you just said to me?
I said that the shock of seeing a priest might well kill him. Without that, he may survive this attack. As his medical man, I must protest against anything being done to disturb him.
Cora?
Julia, dear, I know you are thinking for the best, but you know, Alex was not a religious man. We mustn't take advantage of him now. He is weak, to comfort our own consciences.
I'll go and see how he is.
If Father Mackay comes to him when he is unconscious, then he can be buried in the proper way, can he not, Father?
Father Mackay, you know how Lord Marchmain greeted you the last time you came. Do you think it possible he can have changed now?
Well, thank God by his grace it is possible. I've seen so many men and women die. I never knew them sorry to have me there at the end.
But they were Catholics. Lord Marchmain was never one except in name, at any rate not for years.
Christ came to call not the righteous, but sinners to repentance.
There's no change.
Now, Doctor, how would I be a shock to anyone? Do you know what I want to do? There's nothing alarming. I just want to ask him if he is sorry for his sins. I want him to make some little sign of assent. Then I want to give him God's pardon. Then, though that's not essential, I want to anoint him. It's nothing. A touch of the fingers, just some oil from this little box.
Oh, Julia, what are we to say?
Oh, thank you for your advice, Doctor. I take full responsibility for whatever happens. Father Mackay, will you please come and see my father now? How is he, nurse?
You won't disturb him now.
Do you mean?
No, but he's past noticing anything.
No. I know you are sorry for all the sins of your life, aren't you? Make a sign if you can. You're sorry, aren't you? Try and remember your sins. Tell God you are sorry. I'm going to give you absolution. While I'm giving it, tell God you are sorry you offended him. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Oh, God, if there is a God, forgive him his sins. If there is such a thing as sin. God, forgive him his sins. Please, God, make him accept your forgiveness.
Amen. The priest took the little silver box from his pocket and touched the dying man with an oil wad. Suddenly, Lord Marchmain moved his hand to his forehead.
Oh, God, don't let him do that. Don't let him wipe away the oil.
The hand moved slowly down his breast, then to his shoulder, and Lord Marchmain made the sign of the cross. It was over. We stood up. The nurse went back to the oxygen cylinder. The doctor bent over his patient.
Will you see Father Mackay out? I'm staying here for a little.
Julia remained in the Chinese drawing room until, at 5 o'clock that evening, her father died, proving both sides right in the dispute, priest and doctor. When at last Julia and I met alone, it was by stealth, like young lovers.
Here in the shadow, in the corner of the stair. A minute to say goodbye.
So long, to say so little.
You knew.
Since this morning. Since before this morning, all this year.
I didn't know till today. Oh, my dear, if you could only understand, then I could bear to part, or bear it better. I should say my heart is breaking if I believed in broken hearts. I can't marry you, Charles. I can't be with you ever again.
I know.
How can you know?
What will you do?
Just go on, alone. How can I tell what I'll do? You know the whole of me. You know I'm not one for a life of mourning. I've always been bad. But the worse I am, the more I need God. I can't shut myself out from his mercy. That's what it would mean, starting a life with you without him. I saw today there was only one thing unforgivable. To start up a rival good to God's. Why should I be allowed to understand that and not you, Charles?
Julia.
Well, it may be a private bargain between me and God that if I give up this one thing I want so much, however bad I am, he won't quite despair of me in the end. Now we'll both be alone, and I'll have no way of making you understand.
I don't want to make it easier for you. I hope your heart breaks. But I do understand.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Worst place we've struck yet. No facilities, no amenities, and brigades sitting right on top of us. The place belongs to a Lady Julia Flyte. Used to be married to Mottram, you know, the minister for whatever it is. Report to the quartering commandant at 10:45 hours. He'll show you what we're taking over, sir.
Wonderful old place in its way, but it didn't knock it about too much. There's a caretaker and a couple of servants live at the top. They won't be any trouble to you.
No.
I'd advise you to use this for conferences.
I'm only here to clean up, sir.
Oh, well, you've got an easy job. Very decent fellows, the last lot. They shouldn't have done that to the fireplace, sir. There's another painted room outside under the pillars. Modern work, but if you ask me, the prettiest in the place.
Hooper, do you think I can safely leave you in charge of the work party for half an hour?
I was just wondering where we could scrounge some tea.
For Christ's sake, they've only just begun work.
They're awfully browned off.
Keep them at it.
Rightio.
Come in. Who's that? I can't see you properly in the gloom. Come closer.
Hello, Nanny.
Charles, what a lovely surprise. Oh, look at you in your uniform. Oh, come and sit by me. Oh. Did you listen to Mr. Mottram on the wireless last night?
No.
Very nasty he was about Hitler. I said to the girl Effie, who does for me, I said, if Hitler was listening, and if he understands English, which I doubt, he must feel very small.
Have you heard from Julia?
From Cordelia, only last week. And they're together still, as they have been all the time, and Julia sent me love at the bottom of the page. Cordelia said they were looking forward to coming home after the war, which I'm sure we all are. Though whether I live to see it is another story.
Where's the work party, Hooper?
They had to go off to draw the bed straw. I didn't know till Sergeant Block told me. I don't know whether they're coming back.
Don't know? What orders did you give?
Well, I told Sergeant Block to bring them back if he thought it was worthwhile. I mean, if there was time before dinner.
It's nearly 12. You've been hotted again, Hooper. That straw was to have been drawn any time before 6.
Oh, Lord, sorry, Ryder. Sergeant Block said...
It's my own fault for going away. Fall in the same party immediately after dinner, bring them back here, and keep them here till the job's done.
Rightio. I say, did you say you knew this place before?
Yes, very well. It belongs to friends of mine.
Doesn't seem to make any sense. One family in a place this size. What's the use of it?
It's where my family live. Don't worry, they're all away. You won't have to meet them.
Well, I suppose Brigade are finding it useful.
But that's not what it was built for, is it?
Perhaps that's one of the pleasures of building, like having a son, wondering how he'll grow up. I don't know. I've never built anything, and I forfeited the right to watch my son grow up. I'm homeless, childless, middle-aged and loveless, Hooper.
Huh?
Now, go back to camp, keep out of the CO's way, and don't let on to anyone that we've made a nonsense of the morning.
OK, Ryder.
There was one part of the house I had not yet visited, and I went there now. The chapel showed no ill effects of its long neglect. The paint was as fresh and bright as ever. The Art Nouveau lamp burned before the altar. I said a prayer, an ancient, new-learned form of words, and left. The builders did not know the uses to which their work would descend. They made a great house with the stones of the old castle. Year by year, generation after generation, they enriched and extended it. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. Yet something quite remote from anything the builders intended has come out of their work, and out of the fierce little human tragedy in which I played. A small red flame. The flame which the old knights saw from their tombs, which they saw put out. That flame burns again for other soldiers, far from home. I found it there this morning, burning anew among the old stones.
In the final episode of Brideshead Revisited by Evelyn Waugh, adapted for radio by Jeremy Front, Charles Ryder was played by Ben Miles, Sebastian was Jamie Bamber, Celia, Eve Best, Lord Marchmain, Edward Petherbridge, and Mr. Ryder, Benjamin Whitrow. Julia was Anne-Marie Duff, Brideshead, Toby Jones, Cordelia, Abby Ford, and Rex Mottram, William Hope. Anthony Blanche was Geoffrey Stretfield, Cara, Liza Sadovy, and Boy Mulcaster, Tom Smith. Wilcox was Andrew Wincott, Father Mackay, Jonathan Keeble, the Doctor, Sean Baker, and Nanny Hawkins, Anne Beach. The music was composed by Neil Brand. Brideshead Revisited was directed by Marion Nancaro.